out kind of lackluster. North Daviess is about 20 miles south of here. Always these kids grow up facing each other. North Daviess a little down this year, but you still know that there's going to be a little rivalry out there, and I hope hopefully the Miners will come out tonight with a little bit more steam.
Well, the Miners are 5-0 entering play tonight, averaging just a little less than 46 points per game, holding their opponents to 16 points a night. So nice 30-point margin of victory for the Miners so far this season, and they have the five-headed monster with Mitch Eberhardt, Garrett Mason, Pierce Jackson, and Jacob Clothier. But, Dan, it's been Tyler Muir since week one. Garrett Mason, actually everybody on week one had the big week, but Tyler's just been really impressive over the last 3 or 4 weeks here. Well,
there's no doubt about it. We started off with 3 guys right around over 100 yards, maybe 2 at least of them over 100 yards. And then Mitch Eberhardt had that gigantic game of 238 against Sullivan. And I know some people have talked about how Mitch has kind of disappeared, but the offense is going to take what the defense gives us. I have no doubt that defenses who looked at the film from that Sullivan game thought, oh my gosh, we got to watch what 21 does. All that does is open up for 33 Morris and Muir. Of course, Muir now has had 213, 175, and 94. He's only carried the ball 8 times last week. Mitch is still our second leading rusher at 434. Garrett Mason, hard nose up the middle, 342. And Jackson, his runs probably are physically some of the more demanding ones with 280. Stats are going to be a little bit lower because obviously most of these starters didn't play but a half of a game last week, and probably won't see a lot of them tonight as well. But you can't guard against one guy. It's all about the team at Linton Minor football. It certainly isn't anything about I.
Yeah, kudos to Coach Jennings for finding out, through scouting and then actually when the game starts and making adjustments to see what the defense is, what they are going to try to stop and what it does allow us to do. And for those people that, like you said, that think Mitch has disappeared, just wait, because there's going to be a night where the defense sets up to stop Tyler, and Mitch will have another breakout year, or the defense will set up to stop both Mitch and Tyler, and Garrett will have another big night. Or the passing game, absolutely.
I mean, the linebackers are going to, if they're told all week, watch 21 going out east or west, and that they're going to move from the inside. When they move from the inside, the quarterback is supposed to hang onto the ball and cuts up the field. Great blocking onside. I don't know how you would defend against, because you're right. If they have somebody to spy on Tyler all night, and that's his job, look out, because it's going to be a big night for the wingbacks.
Yeah, and I forgot when I was going through the list of the 5-headed monster, I count Jacob Clothier in that too. Because what an asset to have out wide. I mean, great hands, and while maybe he doesn't catch 6 or 7 balls a night, he's a very dangerous threat.
Well, he come back out last week, 2 nice, beautiful touchdown passes, perfectly placed by Tyler, and he gives us the deep threat, Darren, I think that you've got to have. You could easily put Kendall Williams in the mix at the 5-headed monster. He doesn't get a lot of carries, but I think he averages well over 8 yards a carry. I can even tell you that's even super quick. He has, I said that quick, I didn't get quick, 13 yards, 9.5 per carry. So that's pretty good. He has 2 touchdowns of his 8 carries. So any of these guys, and I think we saw last week with Luke Miller and Corbin when they came in as well, there's just a plethora of skill players. I think you could put them in there, and with the line doing the job they're going to have success.
Well, you mentioned North Daviess being a little bit down. They come into tonight's game with a record of 1-4. They picked up their only win 2 weeks ago when they defeated Washington 13-6, and in their losses, they've been beaten pretty handily. They're only averaging 6 points a game. They're giving up 36 points a game.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the Cougars?
Well, and you'll hear in the coach interview with Coach Helms, he's very young. They have a senior quarterback in Chapin, but they just don't pass the ball very well. They've had a move in. Tyler Gibbs has come in, I believe, from Bloomington North, and couldn't play the first couple of weeks, had to get his practices in. He leads them with 262 yards, had 205 against Washington. Didn't play last week, had the flu at West Vigo. So they just are young, and they're inexperienced, and they're building for the future. And tonight's Linton game, they just want to be competitive. Down the world, they got Wood Memorial as a game they could win. North Knox could be a good game in Springs Valley. You can't come into a game like tonight and just think that you're going to roll over just because you're wearing an L on the side of your helmet. Still got to play it. Those guys are going to run hard, and really, teams like North Daviess, this would make it. They might close the school for a week if they could come here and knock us off. And I got to bring it up. 31-0 that one year, 2001. We beat them 31-0 in the regular season and got beat in the sectional 14-0.
Yep.
So you can never underestimate any Friday night. But the Miners come out like they should come out and execute. They're going to have way too much firepower for the Cougars.
And I think the coaching staff, you always hear Coach Oliver when he comes up after the game talking about we just want to get better every day. And I think that's what you do on a game like tonight. They got to come out and execute and try to get better once again tonight. tonight.
Well, he was concerned a little bit about penalties, and we saw a little bit last week, Darren. Pass protection a little bit off. Tyler had a little bit more pressure than normal, and he talks about his quarterback read. So I would expect again tonight we may see a little bit more of that passing game. The Miners have dominated this series. I've got a 16-5 since 2000. Had some great memorable games. We've won 4 in a row by big scores, 55-28, 55-0. But you can't thank North Daviess without thinking about that 73-33 loss we got handed to us down there. That always sticks in the crawl.
Oh, that's in my notes here as well. That's the last time they beat us, actually, back in 2010, 73-33 down at Cougar Valley. And it wasn't like that Miner team was bad that year. I mean, that was a good football team.
Austin Carazia sets the single-game record for throwing yards in the game that we got beat. We put 33 points on the game. I think that one game, showed the younger kids at Linton, you're not just going to win by running out on the field. You've got to put the work ethic in. And I think since then, really in all levels, the Miners have really understood that lesson.
Well, Dan had a chance to interview both coaches tonight, so we will have those interviews for you in 60 seconds. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3 and WQTYradio.com, produced by Media 5 Sports.
Coach Helms interview in 3, 2. Coach Helms interview in 3, 2. Well, I'm back at Linton Miner Football tonight. Got Coach Scotty Helms, a guy I've talked to many times over the years. He brings his Cougars, who are 1-4, and tonight for a contest with the Miners. Coach, you lost a lot of kids to graduation. You got Helms interview in 3, 2. Well, I'm back at Linton Miner Football tonight. Got Coach Scotty Helms, a guy I've talked to many times over the years. He brings his Cougars, who are 1-4, and tonight for a contest with the Miners. Coach, you lost a lot of kids to graduation. You got a young squad. Had a tough one up at West Vigo, but you did beat Washington a couple of weeks ago. Tell me a little bit about who you got coming back and playing this week.
Well, we've got the Steffi boys. Steffi boys are our leaders, and Chapin. Those 3 seniors have played a lot of minutes for us over the years. And that's really outside of Milligan and Austin Markle. Those are really the only 3 guys that have had significant downs for us in the past. But I'll tell you, I'm proud of our football team. Our younger players, along with our older kids, have worked so hard for this football season. And we were thankful for the reward of the win against Washington. And we realized that we're a year or 2 away from being a competitive football team. But our kids are getting a lot of good varsity minutes, and we hope that it pays off here as we approach the end of the season, which I think we have three games to end the season where I think we can be very competitive and get some momentum going to the postseason. But I think this has been a great learning experience for our guys, and it's going to pay off.
You spoke about, I believe it was Andrew Steffi. Rarely is there not a Steffi on a North Daviess roster. This kid has just been a horse week in and week out for you, and at linebacker. What kind of leadership does he bring to your program?
I'll tell you, he's probably the most dependable young man I've ever been around. You could count on him for anything, and that's from 5th grade, 6th grade on, just being around our football team. He had an older brother that played, and so he and Aaron have spent a lot of time around us, and they've been just dependable. Never missed a weight session, never missed an open field, been a part of everything that we've offered.
Can't keep track of his numbers. They keep changing on me. Now, you mentioned a lot of younger kids. Who can you name for me that's kind of stood out for you as a younger kid?
Well, William Webster's played a lot of minutes for us. He's played some at wingback, and he starts at defensive end. Trey Smith's played both sides of the ball. Britton Helms has played both sides of the ball. Tyler Gray started for us at corner all season, played a little bit of free safety at points when Milligan needed a break. Brighton Robinson started on the line for us all year. David Shands started on the line, and then we moved him to fullback, and he starts for us at nose guard. And Lane Dane Turpin has played both sides of the ball for us, and those guys have played all year. And then you throw in Max Westner, a freshman, and Ethan Malone, another freshman that's given us a lot of downs as well.
So this really bodes well for the future, because these are young guys that last year really, and all of those guys you mentioned, I can't say I remember any of them last year.
You're exactly right. We have 43 players, and 32 of our players are freshmen and sophomores, and a lot of those kids are having to play on Friday nights for us. And Dan, the truth is those kids just aren't really ready for varsity football, but they're getting christened to it, and hopefully it'll pay off for us next year and the years to come.
Coming into the game with the Miners, of course you know what the Miners do. What do you tell your defense when they face a multi-attack offense like Linton?
Well, it's what we tell our offense more than our defense. We tell our offense, keep the ball out of their hands, right, because I don't know if they get the ball out in the open field, I don't know what we can do to stop them. We're just not very good in space to begin with, and we don't have much speed. We tell our kids, just play every down as hard as you can, play all out, put yourself in position to make plays, and then give everything you got in making that play.
You'd like to come out with a shocking the world W, but if you don't, what do you on your trip back to North Daviess, what do you want to come away with?
We want to come away with confidence. We want to come away with confidence knowing that we stood toe-to-toe with one of the giants in 1A football, and whether they're the best team in the state, I don't know. They're the best Linton team I've seen on film in my 20 years, and I've seen a lot of good Linton football teams. We tell our kids, just play your heart out. Good things are going to happen. We're going to get some plays here and there, and our objective is to get confidence going into the last 3 games of the season, and something we can put a feather in our cap on.
Coach, I sure appreciate you taking time. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Good luck tonight. Let's hope we keep injury-free, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate everything you do. You're a class act, and we appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. That was Coach Scotty Helms, head coach of the North Daviess Cougars. We'll take another 60-second timeout. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on WQTY 93.3 FM, a production of Media 5 Sports. Coach Oliver interview and trip. The Miners still undefeated. Feel good to be home.
Oh, absolutely. Those 3 road games, and almost felt like to get on the bus and drive around the block just to warm up a little bit. But it's great to be back, especially for a homecoming game, and be home in front of our crowd again.
Last week with Springs Valley, of course, you were worried a little bit about coming out fired up and being with the intensity. I know you were a little disappointed in that. What steps have you taken this week to offset a little bit of that?
Well, we just try to push them every day at practice and just tell them they have to come out and be in focus every single down. They have to be focused, come out and take the game like it's a playoff game. We have to approach it that way. We can't take it easy on anybody, or we're shortchanging ourselves. So we just kept pushing and pushing. We preached it, so hopefully they bought into it, especially with being homecoming, pep session today. Hopefully they'll come out fired up, ready to take it to the North Daviess team.
It's a little bit of a rivalry between the 2 schools, or not that far apart. That probably helps keep the 10s fired up. Last week you had some kids get to step in and play some varsity. Who got your attention a little bit last week?
Well, looking like last week, you look like Jacob Clothier. We finally was able to get him involved in some plays. And then you looking also, Kendall Williams always plays great. And I'm still keep getting pressed every week the way Chad Trent's playing at outside linebacker. So we got a lot of different guys stepping up for us. And you continue to look, one kid I keep amazed, and we don't want to say a whole lot about him, is that Trey Passon.
Yeah.
I mean, you look, he started every game for us so far, and he keeps playing great defense. I mean, he's a role player, and he's doing a great job.
depth-wise, you got Levi Gerald, some varsity action. Luke Miller came in and played pretty well at different offensive defensive positions. And Bill Smith, of course, what about him returning that kickoff back?
Oh, Bill Smith, he's just building confidence and experience right now. I mean, he's a great athlete. I don't care about his size or anything. He's got a big heart, but he's coming out playing hard for us. And he's just a step away right now, and he keeps getting better and better. And eventually, he's playing a lot of special teams. He'll be able to get a lot more playing time here.
I totally went blank on what I was going to ask you next. I guess what I'm looking for tonight is heavily favored tonight, the Miners are. What are you hoping to come out of this game with?
Well, one thing, healthy. Both teams, I want to come out healthy. But another thing, I mean, we got to start eliminating some of our penalties, some of our stupid penalties. We can't keep shooting ourselves in the foot every now and then. Those will catch up to us eventually. Turnovers, got to eliminate those. But we just everything. Our pass protection has to get better. Also, Tyler, we're struggling a little bit last week, but we have to focus a little bit more on our pass protection, especially our rollout. We got to shore that up. Defense looking good. Just finish our tackles, and I think we'll be okay.
Coach, a new addition, obviously, to the Miner home game is a gigantic, loud PA that's about 20 yards behind us. Last thing would be injuries. I know Ian Fonseca didn't suit up last week. What's his status?
We're going to rest him again. It's still a little tender, but we're going to rest him so we can have him for the rest of the season.
Other than that, we're looking all right?
Other than that, we're looking well.
Hey, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time. Of course, after the game, big smile on your face. We're hoping.
I hope so, too. Thank you.
Coach Brian Oliver, Linton Miners head coach on Friday night. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on WQTY 93.3, a production of Media 5 Sports.
I'm Darren Clayton alongside Dan Phillips. And tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Midwest Natural Gas. If you want your energy source to be clean, efficient, cost-effective, and comfortable, then you just described natural gas. Natural gas, still your best energy choice. Call Midwest Natural Gas for rebate information at 812-384-4150.
Miners, of course, will start with Tyler Muir. He is just a junior. A running back, leads the Miners in rushing with 644, 9.9 per carry, 13 touchdowns. Has thrown 23 of 38 for 419 yards. That's really 61% completion ratio. That's pretty good. 5 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. The running backs, Garrett Mason is the fullback, a junior, 5'7", 190. He has 3 touchdowns, 342 yards rushing. Mitch Eberhardt, senior, 6'1", 190 at one wingback. Pierce Jackson, senior, 6'1", 175 at the other. Between the two of those guys, about 640 yards, 6 touchdowns. Mitch has a 10.8 per carry average. Pierce a 7.2 per carry average. Pierce also the leading Miner catcher, 14 catches, 285 and 2 touchdowns. 6 catches by Jacob Clothier, 3 touchdowns, 118 yards. Up front, led by Briar Pope, a junior, 6', 275 at center. Dylan Morris at left guard, senior, 6'3", 235. The right guard, well, we're not sure who that might be tonight, but Owen Sparks is the right tackle. And I believe T-Pig is going to be the guy that I heard today might start. We also maybe see Levi Gerald and, of course, Chance Howard. T is just a senior, 5'10", 230. Defensively, the Miners are led on tackles by 38 by Pierce Jackson at inside backer, along with Avery Gentry, 29 tackles. Pierce just been a man all over the field and on a vengeance this year. Kendall Williams and Chad Trent are the 2 outside linebackers up front. An excellent job by defensive ends Garrett Mason and already messed up the other. Oh, Zach Figley, how can I mention him? He's pressured the quarterback, Darren, 11 times. That's forced plays and forced sacks. Defensive tackles are T. Pig and Dylan Morris, and again, a great job by the DBs. Trey Passer, Mitch Eberhard, Tyler Muir. Probably we'll see Bill Smith a little bit tonight as well. On the offensive side for the Cougars, Sam Chapin is a 6'2", 205-pound quarterback, a singer. That's a pretty good-sized kid. However, he's only carried 5 times for negative 12 yards. Passing the ball, he's 27 of 63. He has 6 interceptions, 42% passing. The running back is Tyler Gibbs, a transfer kid in from Bloomington. He's a junior, 5'10", 185. He has 262 yards in 2 games. Fullback David Shands, another big kid, 5'10", 255, a sophomore. The wingback Ryan Milligan, a junior, 5'11", 150. He has 116 yards. He's the leading receiver, 9 catches, 94 yards receiving. Max Wesner, a young kid, sophomore at tight end. Britton Helms, another coach's son coming through. He's a wide receiver, just a sophomore. Brighton Robinson, Andrew Steffi, Aaron Steffi, Cade Murphin, and Lane Turpin. 3 singers out of that group are on the line. Defensively, Steffi, he's got to be one of the leaders in the state with 62 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 5 sacks. Austin Markle and Jesse Reed, the other 2 linebackers. Trey Smith and Aaron William Webster, the 2 defensive ends. They have 3 down linemen. David Shands at nose guard, Lane Turpin and Aaron Steffi. Cornerbacks are Gage Carpenter, Tyler Gray, and Ryan Milligan.
Kind of had to get you through that quick there. He did a nice job of getting through there. The Miners are going to receive to start the ball game, and the kickoff for tonight's game is sponsored by Bobe's Switz City. You can kick off your evening with the best pizza, sandwiches, and sides from Bobe's. You're just a phone call away, so call right now, 659-BOBE. That's 659-2623, and Amy will have it ready when you get there. Bobe's Switz City open at 4 p.m. every Wednesday through Sunday. So I'm not sure if the Miners won the toss and elected to receive, or if North Daviess won and deferred, but anyway, the Miners will receive. And back deep to return, Tyler Muir and Mitch Eberhardt. And I think as the season progresses, they talked about the confidence of Bill Smith. I think you'll see him back there a little more for the Miners and give these other guys a chance to catch a blow. Brandon Craven is the kicker for North Daviess. He has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Beautiful night here, and we're just about ready for some football. Whistle blows, and Craven approaches the football, gives it a kick, brings it right up the middle of the field. Going to be caught short by Kendall Williams at the 25-yard line. He takes it towards the left-hand side, breaks a couple of tackles, and he's loose.
Oh, my gosh.
Kendall Williams down the left side, only the kicker to beat. He brushes him away, and he's caught from an angle there. Somebody able to run him down at about the North Daviess 20, inside the 25-yard line, or right at the 25.
Well, that's exactly what you don't want to see if you're North Daviess starting. And, boy, that was just an awesome return. Again, they don't kick deep. Kendall Williams picks that up, what you say, about the 25-yard line.
So about a 50-yard return for Kendall. The Miners with great field position here to open at the North Daviess 25.
I think number 16 tracked him down, or he was gone, tried to get away from him.
Now the kicker did just enough to slow him down. Miners open with Clothier wide to the right. Eberhardt in motion. He's going to get the handoff to the left side, and he's going to be brought down. May have picked up 2 or 3 on the play. Gets it down to about the 21 or 22. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like we'll give him down to the 22. Pick up a 3. He'll make it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, that happened so quick I was unable to get anything going here.
Clothier once again out wide right. Eberhardt on the right wing, Jackson on the left, Mason in the backfield with Muir. He takes the snap, rolls out right, flips the pass out to Clothier. He makes the catch, gets it inside the 10-yard line, I believe. Down inside, it'll be a 1st down and goal for the Miners inside the 5. Just a quick pass out to Clothier, and he takes it down inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing we need to see work on, Darren. We've proven we can hit that deep pass, but we need to work on those short passes, some of those across the middle. How can you defend that? I mean, the deep game is scary. If he can just go 5 and out and make a catch, and then he makes some extra plays, extra runs, getting away from a couple tacklers.
Clothier wide left this time, 1st and goal at the 4. Muir out of the shotgun, Eberhardt in motion, and the ball's dropped, picked up by Muir, going to his left side, and he's going to be stopped for a loss. So a faux pas there by the Miners as the football ends up fumbled.
Yeah, and that's exactly the kind of thing Coach was talking about, shooting yourselves in the foot. Tyler able to make something out of nothing there. Actually didn't. He lost a yard, one of the few losing plays, but alertly he was able to get that ball.
So it looks like the ball back to the 5-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 5. Miners look to the sideline for the play call. Clothier again wide left. Mason with Muir in the backfield, out of the shotgun. Jackson and Eberhardt on the wings. Snap comes, and now a bad snap. Ball loose again. Tyler going to pick it up and avoids one tackle. Now another on the left-hand side. Finally out of bounds on the far side. So back-to-back issues with the football for the Miners. And this time they're going to be tackled all the way back to about the 12 or 13-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 12.
Well, we haven't had this issue all season, Darren, and now, we have a snap. I didn't see it. Did it go over his head or just through his hands?
Yeah, it just kind of looked like it was a little high and went right on through. Tyler may feel like he should have caught it, but it was a little high. So here we go again. 3rd and goal at the 12. Eberhard again in motion. They fake it to him, roll out right, looking for Clothier down near the end zone, and drops it. So now it's going to be 4th down and 12, and the Miners going to bring out the field goal unit maybe.
Yeah, they certainly are, and that was defended by Gage Carpenter there, but a little low of a pass, and that's a win for the Cougar defense, and that's not a good way to show in the red zone. The Miners had been 74% in the red zone, 17-23 with 15 touchdowns. This is now the 2nd time they've had to turn the ball over on downs. Yeah, that's the 3rd time. That's not something you want.
Going to kick a field goal here from the 30. Wilson on. He's been really good on extra points when he's had time to kick. Snaps a little low, kicks in the air, and I think it's good.
I think it is too.
Nice kick, 30-yard field goal. Luke Wilson gets the Miners on the board.
Well, and you like to see that. 30-yard kick is something you haven't seen in Miner football land in a while. So we get something positive out of a negative. That was an odd series once we got down to the 4-yard line.
So with 9:53 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners on top 3-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports Production. Trust. Wilson's kick down to about the 15-yard line, fielded there by the Cougars, and right back up the middle. They get some good field position as well. Tackled out over the 30, around a 32-yard line, and that was
Webster.
Number 3, Webster on the return.
Yeah, it was kind of a low line drive kick by Wilson. They still put it down to 15, but his have been kind of high kicks, giving the kickoff team kind of a chance to get down the field. That one a little bit more of a line drive. They get the ball to 33.
So good field position for North Daviess here. They'll start at the 33, 1st and 10.
Looks like the same guys we're normal to seeing out there. Muir is at the free safety spot, passing and Eberhard wing backs.
Chapin under center, 2 backs in the backfield, handoff up the middle, and gets it out to the 35-yard line. Going to be a pickup of a couple. That is Tyree Gibbs on the carry.
Yeah, I think I've been calling him Tyler. But you're right, that's Tyree, and Pierce Jackson comes up from the inside linebacker. The Miners leading tackler moved from free safety to inside backer this year.
Pick up a 2 on the play, going to make it 2nd and 8 for the Cougars, their first possession of the night. They send 2 wide receivers to the left side, 1 to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. They've got some size in that backfield.
They always do, boy. They always have a big fullback.
Chapin takes the snap, going to give it once again to Gibbs. He's going to get out over the 35 to the 36, so just to pick up a yard.
Yeah, and exactly, almost could be a mirror play. He runs behind Shands, a 255-pound fullback, shooting in from the linebacker. Pierce Jackson untouched. That's 2 tackles back-to-back.
Going to make it 3rd down and 7 now here, so a big play right off the bat for the Miner defense. Try to get that football back for the offense here. 2 wide receivers again to the left, 1 to the right. 2 backs in the backfield, same set for the Cougars.
Should mention Chance Howard is starting at that defensive tackle position.
Chapin under center, takes the snap, going to drop back to pass, looks to the left side, flips it out in the flat, going to be caught out there and going to be close to a 1st down. That's caught by David Shands.
And he broke the first tackle, and not normal for the Miners. Brought down by Tyler Muir was one of them out there, but he's not going to get the 1st down, but they may go for it at this short of a position.
So it's going to be 4th and 1 from the 42-yard line. And if you're North Daviess, what do you have to lose?
You have nothing to lose.
So the Cougars going to go for it. Once again, big backs in the backfield there. Shands that just caught that pass, 5'10", 225. And Gibbs, 6 foot 185. Chapin under center. He may take it straight ahead here. Nope, he's going to hand it off to Gibbs, and he's going to be stopped. Nice stick by Tyler Muir there, and that's going to be short, I believe, of the first down by about a half a yard. Going to give the football back to the Miners. They're going to maybe take a measurement here.
Boy.
Nice stick by Tyler.
That was a lot of oomph there coming from the back from the free safety. What a pop. And Tyler didn't even, he just went like a domino.
5'8", 175, running into 6 foot 185.
Yeah, on the surface, Gibbs looks like he would have the size advantage, but
that's
Tyler
going to be well
short.
So the Miners going to take over.
You can't fault Coach Helms on that. I would have probably gone for that the same way.
I agree. So the Miners will take over 1st and 10 at the Cougar 42. So again, good field position for the Miners. Last time their drive started at the 25 before it stalled at the 12.
Kind of imploded with mistakes once we got to the 4-yard line. Good to see Walker at the right guard position after missing last week's game. 55, that is Caden Walker, junior, 6 foot 205.
Muir out of the shotgun, takes the snap, going to roll out left, looking to throw. Good protection, throws it way down the field, and going to be caught by Clothier and into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he gets thrown down in the end zone a little bit late, but he hung that one up there. I thought that might have a chance to get picked.
Yeah, Jacob had to wait on it to get there, but able to make the catch, takes it into the end zone, and the Miners strike quickly after the change of possession on downs.
Well, I tell you what now, that's he had 2 touchdowns last week, 1 earlier in the week against Sullivan, and now that's his 4th touchdown reception. Jacob has caught the ball 7 times, Darren, so that's 4 touchdowns. Pretty good percentage.
That is a real good percentage. So Wilson on again for the extra point. And the ball's down, kicks up, and it's going to be good. So Luke adds the extra point, and with 7:32 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners are on top, 10-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production. Since 1929, and where they still offer shoe and boot repair.
Darren, I have Luke Wilson this year, 25 of 25, as far as kicking the ball. He's had 4 blocked. We had 1 bad snap. But in terms of kicking the ball, he's been right down the middle, 25 all.
He's been very consistent for the Miners so far, and that's a huge tool to have in your toolbox. Wilson gets ready to kick off from the 40. Miners going left to right. The kick this time comes to the left side of the field, going to be fielded at around the 17-yard line, I believe, and the runner slips and falls as he heads up the middle of the field.
That's number 18.
That was 18, Ryan Milligan, on the return. And he's going to get it once again out to the 35-yard line, so good field position again for the Cougars, as they'll start 1st and 10 at the 35. We're kind of used to seeing the Miners pin teams back closer to the 20.
Been kind of kicking it kind of to the corners around the 15-yard line. I think the difference is they're just not as high a kick. Still a pretty good kick for Wilson.
2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left this time. Chapin again under center with 2 backs in the backfield. Austin Markle back there now, so a change. Markle going to take the handoff up the middle and going to get it out over the 35, maybe to the 37. Pickup of a couple there, going to make it 2nd and 8 for the Cougars.
I'll tell you what, 3 running plays now, 3 of the 4. Pierce Jackson has been in the backfield and makes the hit almost immediately. That's 3 tackles for Pierce coming from that backer position. Good job by the defensive front line, kind of withstanding those blocks and not let anybody get back to him.
2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left again. Chapin under center, 2 backs in the backfield. And again, it's going to go to Markle, and he's going to get it out this time close to the 40-yard line before he's brought down by several Miners. Looks like Pierce again leading the charge.
A little bit more push that time. Markle, a little bit more speed coming out of that backfield, but now they're set up at about a 3rd and doable. I'd watch for that pass to Shands, the fullback, out of the backfield.
3rd down and 5 is the setup here as Chapin heads back to the huddle with the play. 6:24 left in the first quarter. Miners on top 10-0.
I would figure Scotty would want them to use as much of the game clock as they possibly can.
Yes. Wide receiver left, 2 to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. Chapin, see if they try to draw him off here. Nope, they're going to take the snap. This time it's Shands up the middle, and he's going to drive ahead and get the first down, and still bowling ahead out near the 50-yard line to about the 48.
And that was all David Shands. Perfect call on the play. We were blitzing the free safety, and he was able to get right through and broke the first tackle. He's a hunk of a load and gets that first down on his own. Briar Pope, 54, getting some defensive play for the Miners, probably at nose tackle. That was a win for North Daviess.
Absolutely. The Cougars push it out to, they end up spotting it between the 47 and 48-yard lines on their first down of the night for the Cougars. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Chapin again up under center. Awaits the snap, takes it. They're going to sweep left this time. Miners back there quickly. Markle going to be brought down for a loss this time. Chad Trent quickly into the backfield that time.
Coach talked about Chad, his improved play at the outside backer. You know, he didn't play outside backer at all last year as a quarterback, so it's a great opportunity for him to get to hit people instead of getting hit. He's the first one out there that pretty well caused the play to be dead. Markle was able to get a couple yards out of it, though.
Ends up being a 1-yard loss, but the couple yards you're talking about, it looked like it was going to be a 3 or 4 yard loss, so he's able to get it back to where it's just a 1-yard loss. And it's 2nd and 11 for the Cougars. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Markle and Shan still in the backfield. Chapin takes the snap, going to look to pass. Quick throw out to Markle, and he drops it, and now they're going to call it incomplete. I don't know how that referee had an angle to see which way that ball went. He was well upfield from where the pass was made. But it is incomplete.
And he put it right in his hand, so he really should have had that. Boy, the way the Miners are coming with pressure almost every play, so that's how you defeat that. Try to toss it out there.
Little quick passes. That time Markle just took his eye off the ball. Maybe thought he had some running room and looked up and forgot to catch it.
One thing for sure, the quarterbacks for North Daviess this year, the Miners have really put pressure on the quarterback.
They really have. I mean, since that Speedway game when one of the first passes we faced all year went for a big touchdown, it looked like Chapin under center as the play clock runs down, takes the snap, hands it off up the middle again to Shands, and this time the Miners up for the task.
And I'll give you one guess, and the other ones don't count as who made that tackle.
I can see who's getting up off that pile, who had their arms around Mr. Shands that time, and it's Pierce Jackson once again holding him to a 0-yard gain. So North Daviess this time will bring the punting unit out.
Wrapped him up low. With a guy that size, 26 is Shands. He was an actually starter on the line, 5'10", 225 pounds, a big load.
Do not see number 57 on my North Daviess roster here. And the Miners just jumped as they lined up the punt.
Their leading guy, Steffi.
So that's supposed to be a 7 instead of a 4. So Aaron Steffi is the...
No. It's 79 Andrew Steffi.
Oh, Andrew Steffi is 57.
They're tricking us there.
Yeah.
In the meantime, what we got is the Miners jumped.
Now I'd say you're going to see the offense come back. Now they're going to punt it still. The ball across the 50 to the 48. So the 5-yard penalty against the Miners for jumping.
And you got to be wary here. Got to be wary.
So Steffi takes the snap, and it's blocked. That's Corbin that got his hand on it. Cody Corbin with the block punt. And the ball going to go be recovered. It doesn't matter who recovers it. It's going to belong to the Miners, and they're going to take over once again in North Daviess territory. So Cody Corbin, nice job getting in there to block that punt.
Well, you know what? That's a couple of block punts now this year for the Miners. They've gotten close several times, and Corbin continues to make plays.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he did a nice job carrying the ball last week when he got his chance in the late stages.
And he's had some really good kickoff returns as well.
Yes. So the Miners take over 1st and 10 at the North Daviess 42 with 4:21 left here in the first quarter. They're already on top 10-0. Muir takes the snap, gives it to Jackson, coming to the right side, cuts it up, gets it to the 30, down to the 25, the 20, jukes the defender, and he's able to get him down anyway, down inside the 15-yard line.
Touchdown saving tackle by Milligan. And the thing I saw, Darren, was the pull block of Dylan Morris. I've been keeping track of his pancakes this year, and that was pattern classic pancake. That defensive end wanted no part of Dylan Morris.
So the ball all the way down to the Cougar 13 on just one play. Nice run by Pierce Jackson.
Second red zone appearance for the Miners. I mentioned we were 74%, but so far 0 for 1. There's Eberhardt.
Breaks the tackle, gets it down inside the, nope, he's going to score all the way down and touchdown. Eberhardt to the left side behind Dylan Morris once again. And he takes it into the end zone with 3:55 left in the first quarter. Got a North Daviess player down. That is Ryan Milligan.
Oh, and he's one of their main players. He's getting up
he's
now. But
rolling around down there a little bit.
Well, the young team that only has a few senior leaders, Darren, that's the last thing on the earth you want to see happen. And he's one of the few guys coming back that saw his playing time. He's their leading free safety, and he's also their wing back and their leading receiver. Hopefully it's a stinger. That's what we can hope for.
Yeah, you never want, like you said before the game, don't want anybody to get hurt tonight for either squad. Coach is out tending to him. The touchdown for Eberhardt, 13-yard run, comes with 3:55 left in the first quarter and gives the Miners a 16-0 lead here in the first quarter on the HICOM Security Services scoreboard. We'll go ahead and take a 30-second break while they're tending to the injured player. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports.
Couple big games in the area. Eastern Green looking to go 6-0 against North Central. Big T-Bird battle. T-Birds of North Central got to be reeling a little bit from the 35-0 blanking at North Knox. And then, of course, the Warriors got Vincennes Lincoln tonight, and I think that's the first time that game's been played in 20 years.
Maybe a trap game for Eastern tonight. They'll have to make sure they stay focused. They got that big game with Mount Vernon coming up next week, I believe it is, a 3A school. So they may, you hope they're not overlooking and continue to have the success that. Hey, what are they doing? Are they planting? Looks like they brought grass seed out on the field.
Oh, who is that? Mickey Tosti.
That's Mickey Tosti out there. I don't know what he brought out there. They sprinkled some water on it, and I do want to mention the Miners went back to the natural grass here from the Bermuda grass that they've had over the last few years. So the field looks a little different this year.
It's got some growing pains. It's not quite as pretty as it is, but the thing is, when it gets cold, that field turns into a.
This should last though. Back to the other. So Luke Wilson on now to attempt the extra point. And try to make it 17-0 in favor of the Miners. Snap's good, ball down, kick in the air, and right through again. So Wilson adds yet another extra point, and the Miners with 3:55 left in the first quarter lead North Daviess 17-0 on the HICOM Security Services scoreboard. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. Satellite 812-847-8848. So Wilson gets ready to kick off from the 40. See if we make any adjustments on the kickoff here. North Daviess has had pretty good field position the first two times they've had it. Wilson approaches it, kicks it, towards the left side again, going to be short, and it's over the head, though, at the 20, back to the 15. This is what we've normally seen, except the runner gets away. So a nice return by Tyree Gibbs. He gets it back out to about the 29, 30-yard line area.
Yeah, a little bit better coverage, but the additional guy missed the tackle. Bill Smith's going to come up and trip him up just enough to stop him.
So North Daviess will take over 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Thought we were going to get him pinned back that time, and all of a sudden one broken tackle, and they're out back to the 29 again.
Well, they got their first down in the last series, and they've just tried a little couple swing passes. They've not really tried to go deep at all. Milligan might be more than just an issue with losing his breath. He's helmet off, sitting on the sideline, getting some attention.
I think we're going to see a timeout here as North Daviess unprepared here. Play clock all the way down to 1, so they do indeed take a timeout. We will too, with 3:46 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners on top 17-0. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production.
Sideline sitting.
Yeah,
and doesn't really look like he's going to come back.
Doesn't look like any time soon. Once again, when he came off the field, just kind of hoping he was trying to catch his breath there, but right now he doesn't, like you said, he doesn't look like anywhere near coming back.
Yeah, when you see that, the way it looks, it's almost like a concussion type deal. The way that, I mean, he's not being worked on, it doesn't appear.
Chapin under center, 2 backs in the backfield. Takes the snap, drops back, throws a quick pass over the middle, and is tipped and nearly picked off there. I believe that was Kendall Williams that almost came up with the interception. Anytime that pass gets tipped when it's over the middle like that, makes it dangerous for a pickoff.
Passing was out there, as was Luke Miller, number 41. That was intended, it looked like, for 19 Gage Carpenter.
Yeah, there we go. Markle puts his helmet, or Milligan rather, puts his helmet back on. That's a good sign.
Yeah, this is not even.
Now we got
somebody else.
Somebody else being tended to. Can't get that number. So once again, Chapin back under center on 2nd and 10. 2 backs in the backfield. 1 wide receiver each side, and they're going to come back with the counter this way. That's going to be a handoff to William Webster. Webster gets it to about the 32, 33-yard line.
Tried to kind of dance around over there. Chad Trent was kind of arm tackling him, and then Dylan Morris came traipsing down from defensive tackle and hammered him. We've seen a lot of that this year. Dylan is not one of those guys that plays over at the line of scrimmage. He will run 20, 30 yards down, and when you least expect it, hello to 230 pounds.
Pick up a 4 for the Cougars, going to bring up 3rd down and 6.
Already seeing some changes. We've seen Chance Howard down there for the Miners, and also Briar Pope. I haven't seen Briar play defense all year. For 2 years, he's getting some play.
Chapin under center, takes the snap, going to look to pass. Chad Trent from the weak side, all over him, going to make the sack. Trent off the right side on the blind side, and he ended up with a football, but they said the quarterback, Chapin, is down. So Chad Trent, a nice job off of that right outside linebacker position, all the way in there for the sack, and man, he was all over him as soon as the ball got there.
I don't know if Chapin felt that or not, but boy, as I take a look now, Chad Trent, that is his 2nd sack of the year.
Loss of 12 on the play, going to make it 4th down and about 18. And back out to punt once again is Andrew Steffi. Back deep to return for the Miners is Tyler Muir. He stands at the 50.
Last one was blocked.
Good snap, kick in the air. Muir going to field it. Did he touch it? That's the question. He's going to let it go. North Daviess is there to pick it up, and let's see what they call.
They're going to call that a
They're
fumble.
going to say it's down. Nope, they're going to give the ball to the Miners. He didn't touch it, they say. Much to the dismay, you can hear it through the mics there that the North Daviess fans thought he touched the football.
Well, Tyler will get reprimanded for not going after the ball, because if the official chose to rule that, he can't go for those kind of balls. That's just too.
It was out of his reach.
Yeah.
He tried to make a big run up on it, then realized at the last second he couldn't get to it and came close to being a disaster.
And in a big game, I know he wants to make a play. I know he wants to make a return, but in a sense, the way he reacted might have influenced the official's decision.
Very much might have. Miners take over 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Handoff going to go to Mason this time. He takes it to the left side, now cuts it up the field, going to bull his way out to the 41-yard line. Nice run by Garrett Mason to pick up a first down for the Miners.
And that's Garrett's.
We may have a flag on the weak side there, the far side of the field. There is indeed a flag. It's setting back at about the 26-yard line, so it may have been in some kind of an illegal formation, and they're asking for the North Daviess captain. So nice run by Mason, going to be brought back here.
That was his first carry of the game. So far, we've been able to move the ball. Well, about every play, we've had gains of 18, 27, 25, 29. And we are going back from a spot. That looks like a pretty good size penalty.
Did you see the signal? I didn't see the signal.
It was only about a 5-yard
what he
penalty.
called. So they take the ball back to the 23-yard line. So
that's just 5 yards. So it might have been an inadvertent hands to the face, perhaps. Who knows?
You're out of the shotgun, takes the snap, gives it to Jackson. Oh, wait a minute, that's not Jackson.
Mason.
That was Mason again. This time he's tackled at about the 25-yard line, only a pickup of 2.
And that was Andrew Steffi. Got him high, got him around the top of the shoulders there.
So the Miners going to have a 2nd down and 12 here.
Good opportunity to work on that passing game. Avery Gentry coming in now, tight end. We've seen a little bit more of him at that position the last couple of games as well.
Eberhardt goes out wide this time to the slot on the left side. Clothier out wide left. Mason in the backfield with Muir. Jackson on the left wing. So the Miners overloaded to the left side. Fake it to Mason. Roll out Muir. Got pressure. Now he's going to get brought down. Boy, you don't see him get brought down on the initial tackle very often.
Jesse Reed, number 32, is going to come up and make that tackle. You're correct.
That's going to take it back to the 24, so Tyler actually loses a yard.
Trey Smith from the defensive end spot kind of had a shot at him first.
So 3rd and 13. Clothier comes to the right side. Miners back to their more familiar set. Mason in the backfield. Jackson and Eberhardt. That's going to be a flag. 2 guys in motion. So this is a don't make a turnover. Here's what you don't want to do. Nice pass to Clothier. It's not Clothier actually. That's caught by Avery Gentry, I believe.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Avery gets it all the way down to the 34-yard line, but we're coming back.
That's unusual to see Avery down there. He caught a 4-yard pass, but he must not have seen the flags fly. But like you said, very good point, Darren. If you give up on that and they pick it off, they're the kind of penalty and have it.
Yeah, I mean, you always hear them talk about whenever the defense jumps offside, take advantage of that.
Yeah.
But when you're the one with the penalty, boy, you got to be careful there not to multiply it.
Yeah, and I tell you what, this isn't an ugly series. We've had 2 series that have been ugly, and we're up 17-0. But that's just that. Boy, I don't think we've seen 2 guys in motion like that all year.
No, I don't think we have either. So now it's back to the 19-yard line where it's going to be 3rd and forever.
Yeah.
Third and 19.
And that would have been a first down pass to Gentry. You got to like seeing Gentry on the offensive side. He rarely sees any action there.
Clothier wide to the right. Muir out of the shotgun. Takes the snap and hits him in the face mask. The ball's loose again. He picks it up. And he's still running. Finally going to be brought down, but he doesn't get but maybe back to the line of scrimmage there. And the third time the ball's been on the ground. And that's also going to be the end of the first quarter.
Well, that's poor.
So at the end of 1 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners 17, the Cougars nothing. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports Production. And welcome back to Linton High School. The Miners on top 17-0 after the first quarter. Just want to mention those of you that have been sending me text messages with the scores and everything. I don't have my cell phone tonight. I left it with my dad. He's back at his house watching the game tonight on my cell phone, so wish him well. And I want to thank everybody that's asked about him throughout the course of the week. And for those of you that haven't heard, he's doing pretty good. Going to have surgery next Tuesday and have to stay off of it for a couple of months. But thanks again to everybody, and hope he's enjoying watching the game tonight with us. 7th punt of the year, Kendall Williams. Quick score, 7-7. Vincennes Link. Oh, and we were going to fake that. No, maybe the rugby, but we got another flag here. I'm not seeing any signal or any. Kendall was definitely rolling out to the right. There was something. And 5 more yards against the Miners. Boy, you talk about a disaster drive. The first drive, we got 3 points out of it, but we only went 13 yards. Yeah. And had 2 fumbles on that drive, and now a fumble on this one, and now, 3 penalties? Yeah, and that last series was wickedly bad. Williams awaits the snap near the end zone, so snap needs to be good. Just a little high. Kendall going to get the punt away towards the left-hand side of the field. Milligan waiting there. He's going to let it roll, and North Daviess going to have real good field position at the Miner 46-yard line. Kendall did a good job. He's been real consistent from that punting position now for 2 years. But, we had 99 total yards in that first quarter. North Daviess just had 12, but yet you sense that Linton's not going to be happy with that first quarter. Too many shabby plays, snaps for whatever reason, and it's not necessarily the center. We've had a couple just hit Tyler right in the face mask, and like he's not ready for the snap or something's happening there, but it's something we really have not seen. Yeah, I mean, you're happy you're on top 17-0, but, we talked pregame that you want to try to get better each week. You've got to stay sharp, and that's one of the concerns I think everybody has is, you're playing an Eastern Green team that may be undefeated, a North Knox team that obviously if they come out of this Lincoln game tonight, they're going to be fired up. And if we come up and make these mistakes, it's going to cost us sooner or later. Speaking of mistakes, they get a penalty. North Daviess had too many men in the huddle that time as one of them tried to run off the field. So the flag takes them back to the 49-yard line, back on their own side of the field now. So they were in Miner territory momentarily. For a little bit. Well, they've not been able to move the football at all. The Shands got the 1 first down, really, because the Miners failed to make the tackle. 1st and 15 now, Chapin back up under center. Single back in the backfield now. Runner in motion is Milligan. He's going to take the handoff. Tries to cut it up the middle, now out to the right side, and he's going to be stopped just over midfield to the 49 on the other side. So a couple of yards there for Milligan. And that'll bring up 2nd and 13. Right at the midfield stripe. And again, that was Jackson that got there first, but credit would probably go to Kendall Williams, 22, for actually bringing him to the ground. First carry of the night for Milligan. 11 carries, 8 yards for the Cougars. 1 for 3 passing for just 5 yards. Cougars come to the line of scrimmage. Play clock down to 11. You mentioned they probably want to try to eat as much of that up as they can to keep the Miner offense off the field. 2 wings for North Daviess. A big, long offensive line is once again runner in motion. This time Shan's going to take it up the middle, breaks a tackle, gets it out across the 45 down to about the 44. Going to pick up about 5 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down and 8. Churned right up the gut there, and it makes it at least a realistic 3rd down, and I'm sure they'll go for it if they don't get it here. Again, that was Jackson along with Figley, number 5, for the defensive end position. Well, Shands' helmet came off, so he's going to have to take a play off. Well, and he's been their best offensive threat right now. 3 carries, 12 yards, and when he gets down low like that there, and that's he's definitely a handful. They always have some sort of gigantic fullback. So once again, Chapin under center. It's 3rd down, and they're going to call it 9 here. 2 wings and a single back. Milligan again in motion. They give it to him. Coming to the right side. Cuts it up. Now out to the right side again. Shoestring tackle there. I believe that's going to be Muir. Passon, I think, maybe had a hand in that too. Well, they're certainly going to go for it down at the 40-yard line. So Muir and Trey Passon on the tackle. They get it to the 40. Another pickup of 4. Going to bring up 4th and 4. Looked like Zach Figley at that time got caught coming in. I saw the bad thing with following with the field glasses, you only see a limited amount of what's going on. And I saw 5 flying through the air, so he might have got caught on a crackback block. Two wings again for the Cougars. Single back in the backfield. Chapin with a runner in motion. Going to flip it to number 3. That's
he's buried.
Webster, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield.
He's buried by Dylan Morris, and should give credit as well to Chad Kremp, but that was nothing there for Webster.
Nope, that was shut down quickly, and the Miners going to take back over. That was a result. There was a loss of 4 yards on the play back to the 44, and that's where the Miners will take over 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line with 9:34 left here in the first half. Already on top, 17-0 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard.
Well, they really need to have a nice series of Linton Miner type football.
Yeah, I agree. They really do. I mean, we've done nothing really to sustain anything tonight. We've had a couple of big plays, but nothing sustained tonight. Clothier wide to the left. Jackson, Eberhardt, Mason, Muir. Jackson in motion, takes the handoff, going to the right side, cuts it up, gets it out near midfield.
Runs the ball hard behind that pulling offense. It looked like Jesse Walls is going to get that tackle, but he'll take a 6-7 yard gain on first down any day.
Yes, 6-yard pickup, going to make it 2nd down and 4 for the Miners. They look over to the sideline. There's a P and a G card up in the air over there. Then the players get a number from the coaching staff. They match it up with their wristbands. As Clothier again comes wide left. Jackson again in motion. Crisscross handoff this time to Eberhardt, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. So the double handoff that time.
Didn't fool the Cougars. That play usually is a big play, and he was met by Andrew Steffi, number 57, and went backwards.
Going to be 3rd down and a long 1, short 2 here. Clock continues to run first half. Clothier again wide to the left side. Muir, I'm guessing he's going to keep it this time.
Yep.
Nope, he's going to give it to Eberhardt, coming to the left side, waits behind the block. Now he's going to head up field, tries to get away.
Boy, hanging on that ball.
Did a nice job hanging on as the Cougars tried to strip it as Eberhardt gets down over the 30 to the 28. Who was that out ahead of him there? 55, I believe it is. Caden Walker, rather. Nice job blocking that time.
And that was nice running by Eberhardt. He didn't dance around as much this time, kind of put his head down, saw his little gap there. As you say, Walker with a lead block, somebody else. And he really did a great job of holding on to that ball because he was kind of in an awkward position coming down, and the arm looked like we were really trying to get a hold of the ball.
Jackson again in motion. He's going to take the toss, going to the right side.
Ooh, big block by Mason.
Block, and he heads up field. Nice. Ooh, hope everybody gets up from that one. Kind of a head-to-head tackle over there at the 20-yard line. Near another first down.
Well, Walls made a nice, by the legs, pulled him down. But, boy, a nice block by Garrett Mason leading the way.
So it is indeed going to be 2nd down, and looks like 2. The ball going to be at about the 21-yard line. 2 wide receivers this time to the left. Eberhardt in the slot. Clothier out wide. Jackson on the wing. Straight up the gut. It goes to Mason. Cuts it to the right side. And he's going to get another Miner first down. Gets it all the way down inside the 10, I believe. Nice run again by Garrett Mason.
Milligan's going to save the touchdown. Milligan went way low to the ankles. He probably saw that tape of Mason running right over the Springs Valley defender last week. They got it down to the 9-yard line.
So 1st and goal for the Miners. They got a goal-to-goal first down earlier and only ended up with 3 points out of it.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that actually counts as a score. So we're 2 for 2 in the red zone today.
Muir again out of the shotgun. Eberhardt in the slot left. Clothier wide right. Jackson on the left wing. They're going to give it to Jackson going to the right side. Cuts it up, and he's going to take it into the end zone. Jackson
followed the big man, Dylan Morris, right off of his hip, right into the end zone. And that's a little bit more what we want to see right there.
Yep, a little more sustained at times. Some nice plays. And
you'll take an 85-yard run. But you like to see where they get 9, 6, 7. They face a couple 3rd downs. You like to see that kind of action.
Wilson on to add the extra point. Snap is good. Holds down. Kicks up. And I believe we're good again.
Yeah. Took a little bit of a hit that time.
So Wilson knocks through yet another extra point. And with 7:26 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 24, North Daviess nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production. and gets ready to kick off. He's going to tee it up a little bit towards the left-hand side on the 40-yard line.
Should mention number 12 for the Miners out there on the kickoff team. That is Drake Cunningham. He's the guy who led the Miners on the field holding the flag. As a freshman, that's got to be a pretty good size honor.
Yes. Wilson's kick this time going to go to the left side of the field. Fielded there at about the 20-yard line. Milligan going to bring it all the way over to the right side, and he's hit hard. I believe that's Corbin again making a special teams play.
Ben Burris.
72, Ben Burris making a nice stop.
Kickoff team, boy, that's one of those that they call them the headhunters. That's usually you get your most feisty guys on that line. Usually when you see a young kid on that kickoff team, you know he's a special player and going to be somebody we'll be calling several times in the next couple of years.
Yes, definitely. You hear those guys, they kind of get their feet wet by playing on those special teams, and they're going to move the ball back to the 32 now. So 1st and 10 at the 32 for North Daviess. 7:20 still left in the first half, and now we're marking off yards. So there was a penalty there on the kick. So that's going to get marked all the way back to the 27-yard line. So
5 yards if they
just 5 yards,
yeah.
Or maybe that's why it was on the 5 yards. So I don't know what that would have been. The referee's giving that signal kind of quickly, and I haven't been seeing them.
I haven't seen them all year. They look the other way.
2 wings, Shands in the backfield. Chapin under center, takes the snap, gives it to Shands, coming to the right side, barrels his way across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. Going to pick up, or no, that's the, so where was the ball? The ball was actually on the 22.
Yeah.
Not the 27, so it was a 10-yard penalty. That makes more sense, and he got it out across the 25 to the 26.
Zach Figley came in from the defensive end to make the stop.
Some of the yard markers are hard to see from up here, and then the angle makes it even tougher.
Now you're starting to appreciate my position when you were on the sideline. So you had good position, but boy, sometimes up here it's impossible to see.
So 2nd down and 6 for the Cougars at the 26-yard line. Chapin under center, Milligan in motion, and he's going to take the handoff, going to the left side, and not much there this time.
He ran right into Dylan Morris, 78. I should also mention that Owen Sparks is playing the defensive tackle. Now he comes out, Chance Howard comes in. I think Chance is our rushing, the guy on the passing plays. He gets to the backfield, just a sophomore.
So they're going to take it out to the 27, give him a 1-yard pickup on that one. And it's going to make it 3rd down and 5 here for the Cougars. It's almost halfway through the second quarter. Play clock down to 10 here for the Cougars. They may have a hard time getting this play off. Chapin under center. They're still not set. Down to 3 on the play clock. He does get the snap away. Straight up the middle. Ball's on the ground. They're going to be picked back up. It was dropped by Austin Markle there. Kind of a missed handoff between Chapin and Markle, and that's going to bring out the punting unit once again for North Daviess.
Mid-second quarter, 21-14, Lincoln leads North Knox. So that sounds like that could be a battle down there.
North Knox, they've been putting up a lot of yards.
Yeah, and the big knock has been the defense, and yet last week they threw the shutout on what I would consider a pretty decent North Central offensive team.
Steffi back to punt again. Muir awaits the return. Kick in the air coming to the left side. Tyler going to let it bounce. And now, I thought he was going to try to catch it. He gets out of the way. It rolls down inside the 30 to about the 28. Somebody threw a nice block to give him a chance to field that. He opted to let it bounce. I still think that's got to be one of the toughest jobs on the field.
Yeah, unless you've been back there receiving those punts and you're the only one back there. Now, that took a lot for Tyler to not catch it, but he would have took a pretty good-sized hit. Now, if he gets by that guy, it's big play city. But I think that's what you got to do. You can't take chances like that.
Miners take over 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line. 5:08 left here in the first half. Muir out of the shotgun with Mason. Regular setup. Going to roll out right and look to throw. Fires it out there to Clothier on the right sideline. Going to break a tackle over the 50 down close to the 40-yard line of North Daviess. Referee says he stays in bounds.
Yeah, that was, that's what we were talking about. Just a little 5, 6, 7 yards and out. They're so afraid of the deep pass that they're giving him that. And Jacob can make plays after the game, and I love seeing the short passing game because you're going to have that sometimes.
That was a nice job running the ball after the catch there. Gets it down over the 50 to the 45.
A gain of 27 yards. That's 3 catches for 87 yards for Jacob Clothier.
Out of the shotgun, Jackson in motion, and now we drop the ball again. Tyler picks it back up, comes to the left side, and it may end up being a touchdown. One man going to come from behind, and nice saving tackle there by Tyler Gray of North Daviess. Yeah, so that busted play turns out good.
And that's what you're going to get with Tyler Muir. I mean, that was on him. The ball hit him in the hands. He just dropped it, but he picked it up, a nice bounce. Beautiful block by Owen Sparks, number 70, coming down the field. He was kind of playing with that safety back there, and Gray come up and put a pretty good wallop on him.
All the way down to the 23-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Miners. Clothier wide left, and in the slot will be Pierce Jackson this time as the Miners go with a single back. In motion, Eberhardt going to take it on the sweep to the left side. And there's going to be a holding penalty. Eberhardt breaks a tackle, takes it up the left side down near the 15, but I think they're going to get T-Pig maybe for a hold on that one.
I think so, too. Mitch kind of was hesitant about making that cut, and then he did cut, but when he cut, looked like T had him by the jersey pulling him down.
Well, now I know why I haven't been seeing the referees give the signal. That's not the best signal in the world. If there's somebody here evaluating these guys, he just kind of turned around and gave a half-hearted effort at a holding sign and pointed it. And
needs to get a little bit more enthused. The Miners sideline, their stands are pretty packed for this contest.
Yeah, it is homecoming tonight. Nice contingent of Miner fans around the outside here. Of course, if you look at the stands now, you see the one area empty. That is the band section.
Yeah.
So ball all the way back to the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. In motion again is Eberhardt. Fake the handoff. Muir going to look to throw. Pressure now. Going to cut it up himself. Now out to the right-hand side. Gets a nice block from Mason. And he's down inside the 30, down inside the 25, maybe to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and that looked like that was going to be a pass play. He got a little bit of pressure, but I think they teach him if you get so many seconds, and if that middle opens up, you just run up the gut. He got all that penalty back and more.
Down inside the 19, inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, where it'll bring up 2nd down and 6, or 7, 2nd down 7 rather.
6 carries, 31 yards now for Tyler Muir.
Tyler out of the shotgun. Mason in the backfield. Eberhardt in motion. Mason going to get it up the middle, and another flag. Boy, it's just been a sloppy night for the Miners, really.
If that's against Linton, you would think if it was motion or movement, they'd stop the play.
It may have been in the neutral zone.
Yeah.
See what we get this time. Nice run by Mason up the middle. And let's see what we get.
We're watching him.
Illegal motion on the Miners.
I thought that, well, I guess they don't stop. But boy, that negates a nice run. And, man, the penalties.
Got to be starting to stack up
here. Yeah, I got to take a look here when we get this down. I didn't really see anybody moving.
Yeah, I didn't either. 77 checking in for the Miners. Levi Geralds, we saw him last week.
Wow, it's 6 penalties, 39 yards in just the first half.
Yeah, not even halftime yet. So the Miners, it marks it back to the 24-yard line, where it'll bring up a 2nd down and 11. So Muir out of the shotgun, joined by Mason in the backfield. Clothier wide right. Eberhardt in motion. They're going to give it to Mason up the middle. Breaks it out towards the left-hand side. Going to be brought down. Might have picked up 2 or 3.
Austin Mark will come up and make the tackle. And the mistake I see there is that they're going high. And when you try to tackle high like a guy like Mason, typically he's going to put the body and shoulder into you.
I'm going to give him 4 yards on that. Take it down to the 20-yard line. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
We could be a little bit out of Wilson's range out here.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite close enough yet.
As you mentioned, Levi Geralds is now in at that left tackle position.
Muir takes a snap, going to keep it himself, going to the right side. And he breaks one tackle, jumps over another defender, takes it all the way down inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, he just hops around. It's really hard to describe it, and if you're not watching it on LintonMiners.com. I saw a big block by Morris down the field, but he just kind of hip-hop jumped like the tire drill that you see in football. That's what it looks like up here.
Takes it all the way down to the 4-yard line, so 1st and goal. So another goal opportunity for the Miners.
And we're 3 of 3 in the red zone tonight.
Tyler takes a snap straight ahead and into the end zone, almost untouched. So a 4-yard run by Tyler with 1:59 left here in the first half. We'll put the Miners on top 30-0.
And that was a nice situation where we had a couple of penalties that dropped back, a couple of nice plays, and had a 3rd and 7 that we converted on. The coach is not going to be pleased with the penalties. He just explicitly talked about that in the pregame.
Snap good. Wilson's kick in the air, and good once again. So Wilson has a field goal tonight and 4 extra points. And with 1:59 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners on top 31-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. Happy for Brandon to be a part of that, and you wish him well on nights other than when they play the Miners, but it's kind of tough to look down there and see Brandon in those North Daviess colors.
Yeah, and at least they're wearing kind of a gray shirt. They're not wearing that burnt orange, but that'd be strange. But
yeah, wish him the best. Kickoff fielded at the 30-yard line by one of the guys. That's Steffi, and he's still on his feet. Gets it all the way out to the 45-yard line. It was a nice catch by him to even make to even come up with it.
And it's misleading, 77, but he wore 44 his other 3 years in high school and was really kind of a tight end and a fullback. He gives some pretty good starting spot out at the 46-yard line. Corbin is going to get part of that tackle out to the 45.
1st and 10. North Daviess, they've had pretty good field position. They've just not been able to move the ball.
Well, they started at their own 33, their own 35, and Linton's 46, and now at the 45-yard mark. They just have not had any offense at all.
And now they're going to take a timeout here. So something not looking right to Chapin as he stepped up there to get ready to take the snap. Take this time to let you know tonight's game is brought to you in part by Highcom. Here's a reminder from Highcom Security Services in Lyons. Protecting your home, your business, your family, and your property is as easy as calling Highcom. Highcom offers cutting-edge technology, affordability, and service by local people you know and trust. Call sales manager Derek McKee to find out more. Their number is 800-819-8141 or online it's callhighcom.com.
That last drive for the Miners, at least someone again, six plays, 72 yards, 3 minutes and 9 seconds, but kind of faced a little bit of animosity with some penalties and were able to overcome that.
Well, North Daviess, after the timeout there, brings back out Shands to the backfield along with Chapin at quarterback. They've gone with the double wing here of late, the last couple times they've had the football.
1 first down in his first half for the Cougars.
Usually send a guy in motion out of this set. Chapin under center. There is the man in motion coming to the right. He's going to take the handoff, cuts it back up the middle. I believe that's Markle. And he might have picked up a couple before he's greeted there by Pierce Jackson and Figley. Yep, number 5. So he gets it out to the 47-yard line, picks up a couple of yards, going to make it 2nd down and 8.
And we've already called Figley and Jackson's numbers quite a bit. A lot of people talking about their memories of Jordan Tharp out there when you look at number 5 out there. Cerebral players. I got to use that word.
There you go. 2nd down and 8 for the Miners.
Milligan,
for North Daviess, rather.
Milligan's back on the sideline with the helmet off, so I'm not sure that he's going to be back out there.
Chapin under center, runner in motion again to the left this time. Going to hand it off, and he's going to get stuffed quickly. That was 32 Jesse Reed on the carry, and he's going to be stopped for about a 5-yard loss, it looks like.
And one guess again who it is out there.
Yeah,
that's Pierce Jackson.
So back to the 42, a loss of 5.
Boy, Pierce, and he wasn't really playing right up in the middle of linebacker that time. He was kind of back a little bit.
So 3rd down and about 12 for North Daviess here, down to 40 seconds left in the half. So
they'll use all of that.
Yeah, probably be the last play if they're I can't imagine the Miners using a timeout here with a 31-0 lead. Down to 7 on the play clock. They hustle up to the line of scrimmage. Chapin under center. Runner in motion, down to 2, going to take the snap, looks to pass, pressure coming. Gets a nice block. Now he's going to try to dump it ahead, but it was a nice block by Markle to give him a little more time, but still nowhere to go with it.
Figley was coming in like a storm, and then the pressure was coming from the backside by Chance Howard. Smart move by Chapin, though. Out of the pocket, knows he can throw it. Really just threw it down to the ground. The problem now is there's still 14 seconds
it stopped
to go.
the clock with 14 seconds, so he'd almost been better off just taking a knee with it there, and I think that would have just done it. Now they're going to send the punt team out.
This is always dangerous. 14 seconds, a bad snap or anything can happen.
So Steffi going to come back in to punt. Looks like their center is Aaron Steffi, so Steffi to Steffi here.
Steffi to Steffi, yeah. They've been both really solid players for North Daviess. They got to burn a timeout.
Actually, they're going to get the. Now they're going to give them the timeout out of So a timeout again by North Daviess here. Down to 14 seconds left on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard before the half. The Miners on top 31-0. Of course, the halftime tonight probably be just a little bit extended. It is homecoming, so the ladies in their lovely dresses and the gentlemen dressed up in their suits tonight. Good to see the high school kids dressed up. And
you remember last year homecoming, Darren? You were on the sideline, and I could still see you up here at halftime. Covered in mud and plastic, trying to keep the rain off of you, because that was the night of North Knox, and just a pile-driving mud that night. And we've had just absolutely glorious. For our first 6 weeks of football, we'll remember this when it gets nasty.
Right.
We haven't really had any rain situations or storm situations, and the north part of the state is really kind of.
Yeah, there have been a lot of delays up there and postponements to the next day after lightning.
Try to remind me that we'll mention these candidates for Homecoming Queen when we get to halftime. There's several of them, so we don't have enough time between plays.
Good snap for the punt here. It's away, straight up the middle. Nice high punt. Tyler going to call for the fair catch and makes the catch at about the 26-yard line. And I'd say, you reckon the Miners will take a knee here, or you think they'll try to do something?
Gosh, part of me says a knee and go. The other part says, hey, they might try to
hand it off to somebody and let them try to do something. So 7 seconds left. The Miners take over 1st and 10 at the 26. So whatever it is, it'll just be one play. Tyler out of the shotgun, so it looks like they are going to run a play. Clothier wide right. Mason in the backfield. Jackson and Eberhardt on the wings. They're going to roll out, look to throw it. Fakes one way. Now he's going to let her fly down the field. Clothier is open, and
interference.
Flag comes in. We'll get another play. I don't think the defender ever turned around. I believe it was Milligan, and I think that's what they're going to get him for, was pass interference there. I don't think he ever turned around. The ball hit him in the back. Now we got a flag in the backfield too, though, so double penalties here. Still 3 seconds left on the clock, and they'll have to sort this out. May have been a hold on the Miners.
Didn't see it, but I was too busy watching that ball. That was a pretty good pass.
Well thrown.
And Milligan, if he doesn't do that, Clothier's in mid-stride, and he's going to be gone. Why are the Miners going backwards?
That wouldn't make any sense for him to go backwards.
Trying to keep an eye on the man in the yellow. Now
they're just going to put it back where it was, so it's going to offset here. And once again, the referee, he's not doing a very good job of getting
explaining anything to anybody. No,
he is not. So 1st and 10 again, 3 seconds left. See if the Miners try that again. It was a pump fake by Muir. He's going to fake it to Eberhardt.
He's got him wide open.
Boy, Tyler could have taken a shot there. Nice catch. That's Pierce Jackson. Over the middle, nice long ball. He catches it at the 35, gets it down to the 31. That's where he'll be stopped, and that's where the half will end. Boy, what a well-thrown football, and a nice catch by Pierce Jackson to end the half.
Over the shoulder, too. That was in stride, and I like seeing that.
I do, too. They put 20 minutes on the clock tonight instead of the usual, isn't it, 15 normally, and then the extra 3. So
they'll put more.
So a little extra time tonight as the young ladies that are up for homecoming gather in front of us down on the track. We'll go ahead and take a 2-minute break on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners are on top 31-0 at the half. Back in 2 minutes, you're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3 and WQTYradio.com, produced by Media 5 Sports.
night, the Miners on top of the North Daviess Cougars by the score of 31-0. Scoring tonight, the Miners took the opening kickoff, had a long kickoff return by Kendall Williams, drove down to the Cougar 4, then had a couple of fumbles and lost some yards. But the positive side, Luke Wilson hits the 30-yard field goal, and at 9:53, the Miners are on top 3-0. The Cougars not able to move the ball. The Miners come back. Muir is going to hit Clothier at the 7:32 mark on a one-play drive, 42-yard pass. Wilson perfect down the middle, and that makes it a 10-0 score. The Miners then, about 3.5 minutes later, at the 3:55 mark, Mitch Everhart goes 13 yards in the first quarter, and the extra point perfect. That makes the score at the end of one quarter, 17-0 Miners. Second quarter, a couple of red zone appearances by the Miners. It is going to be Pierce Jackson from the 9-yard line at the 7:26 mark, and Tyler Muir goes in from the 4-yard line with 1:59 to go in the quarter. Wilson is a perfect 4 for 4 kicking. The Miners are on top 31-0, and I believe I've got to maybe still be working on stuff. Shane Huffman is kind of still adding some things up. That'll give me a quick chance to talk about the homecoming folks. Senior candidates are Emma Brewer, escorted by Eli Cooksey, Sarah King, escorted by Cole Anderson, Sydney Smith, escorted by Braden Talley. Those three are for the homecoming queen possibilities. Homecoming princess juniors, Hunter House and Madison Millick. They're escorted by Alston Allen and Devin Hill. Sophomores are Riley Fiddler and Brantley Lannon, escorted by Isaac Job and Noah Woodward. Freshmen are Lillian Carr, escorted by Tucker Hayes and Hayden House, escorted by Dane Whitty. The junior attendants are Miss Hayden Ressler and Master Brent Anderson. Macy Fiddler will be escorted by Caden Shelton. She will be crowning the this year's queen. And Shane, the first half, make sure you're on there. Say something for me.
Hey Dan, how's it going?
I'm doing great. Perfect night for football. Shane, the Miners, unfortunately, even though we're up 31-0, we've committed several mistakes, and we're having some issues with the ball and the quarterback. And I know there had to be some unhappy folks on the sideline, even with a 31-0 score.
Yeah, they're definitely struggling a little bit with some penalties. They've definitely talked to the coaches have talked to them a lot about that, staying sharp. Honestly, they haven't looked sharp on the offensive side. When it comes to like you said, the quarterback center exchange and a couple mishaps there, and some false starts and some holds.
Well, a couple of them look like they've hit Tyler right in the helmet. I mean, it's like he's not looking for the ball. And we should mention this. This is not a new center. Briar Pope's been consistent, and we do run a shotgun situation, but we've overcome those things, and we've had again kind of more of what we like to see, a multiple running back attack. What kind of numbers are you looking at for the Miners offensively?
Yeah, we've got about 166 yards rushing is what I've got for the Miners, and that's what you mentioned about not looking real sharp there. That's the sign of a good team. We're up 31-0, and we haven't played our best football.
Yeah, it gives you something to work at. Now, one of the sides that has looked pretty positive is the passing. That last pass to Pierce Jackson and the one before to Jacob Clothier put right on the nose, and I like seeing the short game. Jacob Clothier a lot more involved tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've got him for 128 yards passing already, and Tyler's throwing a real good ball out there. Definitely, he's hit that last pass there to Pierce. He hit him right in stride.
Yeah, right over the shoulder.
Yeah, that was a great pass.
And the one before that with Jacob that was nullified by the offsetting penalties. Again, if the defender doesn't basically stick his head in there, the passing game is coming along real nice. That looks like 287 yards in the first half. That's pretty good numbers for the Miners for having as many penalties as they have. Now, other side of the coin of that, the North Daviess Cougars really having some tough sledding on the offensive side.
Yeah, they are. The number 26 has done okay as far as rushing the ball. He's done pretty good. He's been tough to bring down. 225-pound offensive lineman playing fullback, and I've got him for 4 carries for 16 yards, but he's a load. Pierce Jackson and him have gotten acquainted pretty well in his first half, but really the Miners' interior line looks like they're dominating. Yeah, I think we've grown accustomed to seeing that the last several weeks, is that the defensive line can really shut down the run.
Now we're seeing some other guys in the ball game as well. I don't know if there's a JV game Monday. I'm assuming there is. What do you think the second half? Have you heard? Are we going to see some some guys in the mix tonight.
I haven't heard. If I had to make a guess, that they're going to come out with the starters, and they're really going to try to work on some of the mishaps that they had.
Yeah.
I've heard the coaches talking to them a lot about the penalties and playing smart, and staying up in the game. And I would really expect them to want to see some good, crisp offensive series before they put the JV in.
And it's 31-0. I mean, it isn't 55-0. So like really Springs Valley last week, you're ahead at the half, but you've not played your best contest. Injury-wise, I know Fonseca isn't playing tonight. Looks like we've come out of the first half unscathed.
Yeah, I haven't seen any injuries. Yeah, Fonseca, he didn't play last week and isn't playing this week. One of my favorite players to watch play.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a really good kid, and I tell you what, he puts everything he's got into it.
Well, I appreciate you coming up, Shane. It's a great, beautiful night for football and homecoming. Hopefully the Miners will right the wrongs in the second half, and we'll get through it without anybody seeing any injury time.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot.
That was Shane Hubbin, the stats keeper for the Miners. We'll go ahead and take another 2-minute timeout. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on WQTY, a Media 5 sports production.
What'd you cover?
The first half drives and then stats. Uh-oh. Didn't hear it. I did name all the homecoming court.
They've not. Darren Clayton alongside Dan Phillips, and they are introducing the Queen candidates on the PA system here as it's homecoming for the Miners tonight. And Dan went through those
hopefully we'll
candidates
be able to
for
hear
you,
it.
and hopefully we'll be able to let you know who wins those, the Princess and the Queen. As we look across the field here, and I think, Dan, you've got some individual stats at the half.
Yeah, we heard Shane talk about how the Miners had been a little bit more diverse. Tyler Muir with 8 carries, 51 yards, a touchdown, still a 6.4 carry average. Pierce Jackson right there with him with 51 yards on 4 carries and a touchdown. Mitch Eberhardt, 4 carries, 38 yards and a touchdown. 3 carries for Garrett Mason for 19 yards. 19 carries, 159 yards, and 8.4 per carry average. And as mentioned, the passing game, even though it's just 5 passes, 4 of them complete, 128 yards and a touchdown. The Miners with 287 total yards, 10 first downs in that first half to just 1 for the North Daviess Cougars. If we look at them, not a whole lot to talk about for them. They're led by David Shands, 4 carries, 16 yards rushing, passing. 0 for, I got all sorts of strange numbers on passing, but overall 1 for 4 on a 5-yard completion, I believe, to Shands is all that they've been able to get. So the Miners, you didn't hear Shane talk, but he was talking about they were, on them about the penalties, on them about the mistakes, and I would imagine with the third quarter will be varsity trying to come out here and prove they can run a series without making a penalty or making some sort of error.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely saw the football on the ground way too much there in the first half, as well as the penalties to go along with it, and you just can't afford to have given away the Princess usually first here. They are walking towards, and you got your field glasses. I might be able to tell who that is if I can get an eye on it from afar here. As they have introduced the Princess.
They're not the world's greatest field glasses.
See if I can find out who that winner was there. And of course they're blocked by all the.
Yeah, just hearing scores up here in the booth, we know that North Knox is down 35-14 at the half to North Knox, and Eastern Green showing that last week was not a fluke, 42-0 over North Central. So they are proving their worth. North Knox, of course, with Lincoln tonight, a 3A school. They played 3A Sullivan and were beaten handily. They have Linton, North Daviess, and Washington to close out their season. Meanwhile, Perry Central, a team that won 33-7 over Tecumseh, who we defeated 65-13. So Tecumseh, Perry Central rolls to 5-0 tonight. They should be 6-0 against Wood Memorial. They got a big game in the pack with West Washington coming up next 2 weeks from now to close out their season. North Knox, we already talked about. These are really the big three teams in our sectional. North Central's kind of suddenly went on. I'm not sure what happened. They were sitting at 3-1. They'd beaten Rockville in double overtime. And suddenly now North Knox, they haven't scored a point. They were beaten 35-0, and now they've not scored again. I don't know if they've got injuries. I don't know what's happened, but set something up big for the Eastern Green team as they will travel to Mount Vernon, a 3A squad, next week. I see you diligently trying to figure it out.
I believe Emma Brewer is your homecoming queen, and I think, I can't confirm the Princess. I'm trying to get a beat on that.
Blocked by the shininess of the drum major at on top of the stairs over there.
So I'm pretty sure on the queen being Emma Brewer, and I believe the Princess.
Boy, what a perfect night for homecoming. The wind the soft wind is blowing. And
I hate to say and be wrong. I think Riley Fiddler may have won the Princess, but
you'll have some angry parents ready to rip you.
I know. So I tried my best to look across there and see, just can't quite make the connection.
Or maybe we'll get some confirmation by somebody coming over here at afterwards. As band leaves the field, they were in full dress uniform tonight under almost a full moon. We got that gigantic moon coming on Sunday.
It's supposed to be something really neat. And well, the field empty right now. There's still 5 minutes or so left on the clock, and then I'm sure they'll put the other 3 back up there. So an extended halftime tonight. A lot of fans still along the sideline over there. We'll go ahead and take another 2-minute break, come back with more of the halftime show. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QT 93.3 and WQTYradio.com, produced by Media 5 Sports. try to guess who won that. But nonetheless, I took a shot at it, and I was incorrect trying to look across the field and sort through all the people. It's congratulations. Homecoming queen tonight is Sydney Smith, so congratulations to Sydney for her winning the homecoming queen tonight, and the homecoming princess is Madison Millick. So my apologies to everyone for misleading you. I really should have known better than to try to guess.
But you're so lucky that whoever that was nice enough to stroll over here to tell you that, because I know Timmy, and Timmy Smith would have been over here head hunting for you, Darren.
So the Miners make their way back out onto the field here. Still a couple of minutes to go on the initial setup of the
it's crazy how that works.
We're still going to have about 5 minutes before we start the second half. So what can we look at the polls, Dan? I saw the polls today. The Miners ranked third in both the polls this week.
Same story as usual. Lafayette Central Catholic, the clear-cut number one, although Pioneer really has the number one Sagarin rating in the state. They got a big game tonight against LaVille, who is a top 10 team, and they're from sectional 43. So the northern part of the state, North Vermilion is still up there. I don't have them right in front of me. I can look right now at sectional 47 and tell you that it really, Eastern Green has just cracked into they're 15 tied and 13th in the coaches poll, winning big at North Central tonight, so they're going to go undefeated. North Decatur is a team that they dropped a 27-0 game last week. They were 4-0, now they're 4-1. And the other big team down there, 5-0, is West Washington. They'll play Tecumseh tonight. You know, good comparison numbers. Tecumseh's dropped to both us and Perry Central, so they should be 6-0, and then those guys are going to meet. Perry Central and West Washington are going to meet after that. It looks really like it's going to come down to West Washington and Eastern in that section. Then you start looking at who we might see in a semi-state if we're lucky enough to get there. I don't want to hatch it.
Oh, sure.
But clearly Indianapolis Lutheran there, the team that's ranked 12th and 11th in the state. They play a schedule, Darren, nobody less than a 2A team. They got a tough one tonight with Indianapolis Cecina. Then they got a tough one against Monrovia come up the week after that. But they played and beat Heritage Christian. They played Indianapolis Cardinal Ritter, and actually Beach Grove is 4-1. They're probably the team. I don't see anybody else coming out of that area. In 45, obviously we're very familiar with North Vermilion. They got Attica tonight, and Attica's 3-2, and you never can necessarily tell about them. Fountain Central will probably beat Seeger. They're coming off a big win, 48-27 over Attica. They're 4-1. Then you got to throw in there South Putnam. The Eagles kind of dropped a game to North Putnam, 26-18. That's a tight contest, and they have a tough schedule as well. You add Sheridan, who got back on the winning tracks, and Rockville, who got back on the winning tracks. There are 5 teams in there. South Put is ranked. Actually, they're not ranked, which is kind of surprising in there. North Vermilion still hanging in there at 5th behind LaVille. And then for our area, you know, it's kind of the same things. Another tough one is sectional 44. Probably easier if I went over to this form. Yeah, there we go. Look at the ranked teams in this sectional. 3 are in the top 10. Adams Central, Tri-Central, Shenandoah, and then you got another 2 that are in the top 20, Southern Wells, Monroe Center.
Those are teams we would meet at what point?
Well, we wouldn't see these guys till the state tournament.
The state tournament, okay.
And this is probably one of the more competitive ones. I think we've already talked about LaVille. LaVille is they're ranked number 4th and 6th. They're 5-0, but a lot will be decided tonight as they face Pioneer and, of course, perennial Lafayette Central Catholic. Look at the scores that they put up on teams. And then after you look at the scores, look at the classes of who they've been playing. They played 2 2A teams and all 3A teams. And tonight they're taking on 4-1 3A Twin Lakes, and they'll probably heavily defeat them. And I guess the one thing you want to say about it is if you're going to win the state championship, you've got to go through the best, absolutely the best, and whoever beats the LCC, if that's possible, in 1A.
Yeah, it's very impressive. I'm looking at the enrollment. 227 is the enrollment there, and they're beating 3A and 2A schools by unbelievable points. I mean, they've only given up 12 points. It shows there on your sheet.
2.4 per game, and really 3 shutouts. They beat 3A Northwestern last week. Now that's a 3A school, 49-6. They beat Garin Catholic 34-0. So, fortunately they're not in the South; they're in the North, and that's the misfortune. The Pioneer Pioneer LCC game. And what a lot of people in the state think is essentially going to be for the state championship. Whoever comes from the South, as usual, not going to get a lot of respect, although North Vermilion last year surprised everybody and pulled that one out.
Now we're just about ready to get back to action here. The teams of North Daviess still stretching down in the north end zone. The Miners have made their way to the sideline, down under a minute to go before we kick it off again. We'll let you know that tonight's second half is brought to you in part by Lions Health and Living Center, offering a high-skilled professional staff available 24 hours a day in a comfortable, compassionate environment. Contact Melinda Barnhill for a personal tour, 659-1440. Once again, that's Lions Health and Living Center, a 5-star community. We are worth the drive. Always want to thank our sponsors for allowing us to bring you Linton Miner football throughout the season and into the playoffs. And then as football season winds down later on, it'll head into Greene County basketball with both boys and girls action being brought to you on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. I think well over 100 games that we put on throughout the course of the basketball and football seasons. So
I retire at that point and listen to you guys on the radio. They wouldn't want to put me on a basketball broadcast. I'd be talking about back blocks and three-point technique. And do want to give a shout-out, Darren, that tonight is Linton's homecoming. And you said they don't have a homecoming dance, which is phenomenal. But last year we put together a little show out, the FOP and my acoustic show, and kind of had a meet and greet kind of a deal out there. And it was so successful that we're doing it again this year. So when the football game is over, I'll have to take some time to put on my best looking clothes, comb my hair a little bit straight, maybe dab a little makeup on, tune the guitars, and I'll be back at it. So all of you who are listening, who are in the area, want to come on out. There's no charge, no nothing. Just come out and meet and greet and listen to some good music. Drop a couple bucks in my tip so I can get a Monaco's Pizza tomorrow.
Well, I'll vouch for Dan here. I had a chance to watch him play last Saturday and had a chance to watch him play all the way back since the mid-'80s, and he's very talented.
Back when my hair was short and dark.
If you get the opportunity, it's well worth it to go out and support Big D and live music. So the Miners going to kick off to start the second half as Wilson gets ready to tee it up at the 40-yard line towards the left hash mark. North Daviess has Milligan and Webster, I believe, back deep to receive this.
I see Irish has joined that kickoff team out there, so he's getting in a spot, I believe. Normally, Zach Figley is out there, so he's earned himself a spot up there. Luke Miller passing as well, and here comes the kick.
Kind of a short kick again, going to be fielded at about the 25-yard line by the up guy. That's number 17, or number 7, Tyree Gibbs. So he receives it at about the 25-yard line.
It was Gray, number 47.
Gray, 47. I knew there was a 7, just couldn't get the rest of it.
Yeah, decent starting spot again, all the way out to the 38-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for the Cougars to open the second half of the 38. They'll go left to right. Miners in their home red with blue numbers with white trim, red helmets with the L. North Daviess in their road white jerseys with black numbers, black pants, and orange helmets with the Cougar paw. 2 backs in the backfield with Webster out wide to the right. Another wide receiver wide to the left, going to hand it off up the middle, and that's going to be Gibbs. Going to get it out over the 40, maybe at the 40, and a Miner slow to get up.
Getting dragged up. Avery Gentry made the tackle. That was Zach Figley getting
he's
up.
He's limping just a little bit there. So they get him to the 40, a pickup at 2, going to be 2nd down and 8.
Gibbs ran the ball pretty hard there. I looked at some spurt there. Still looks like the same Miner defense. Boy, you just don't want to see anybody get hurt. Zach is obviously favoring that right leg, kind of trying to stretch it out a little out there. T. Pig now at the right defensive tackle. He's been the starter most of the year out there.
2nd down and 8. Ball snapped to Chapin. He gives it off again to Gibbs. Barrels over to left side. And going to pick up about 3 more here. Out to the 43, going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
Whole host of Miners in there, led, of course, by, again, that was Pierce Jackson. He's kind of looked like he's a little
limping
gimpy.
Just a little bit, too. Looks like the Cougars going to try to run away from Dylan Morris.
Yeah. He's so effective at coming from the backside and making the hit.
So once again in the backfield, Shands joined back there by Gibbs. Wide receiver short to the right side. There's a snap. Going to fake the handoff. Looks to pass. Throws it out. He's got a receiver open and overthrows him just a little bit on the right sideline. Had a 1st down if he could have come up with a catch.
Ryan Milligan.
And that'll bring out the North Daviess punt team. They sent 2 receivers out there. Shands was short. Milligan over the top, and they tried to get it to him. Unable to connect.
And I was wondering if Milligan was out there because he kind of missed a little bit of time, but you hate to see that. They got behind passing and in front of like a perfect spot.
Steffi, the ball rolls back to him on the snap. Now he's going to keep it, coming to the right-hand side, and a nice tackle, 41 there. That's Miller. So a bad snap, and they have to fake the punt. Not really fake it, it's just a busted play. And the Miners with great field position here to open the second half, or not open, their opening possession for them will be at the 38-yard line of the Cougars.
Well, that's exactly what they didn't want to see happen, is to do that. A nice, sure tackle by Luke Miller. And the Miners a short field.
Miners are one man short as Gentry comes in at tight end. Figley may be a little banged up. We saw him limping. So Avery comes in at tight end. Muir out of the shotgun, joined by Mason. Going to keep it himself up the gut and may get to the 35, maybe just short of the 35-yard line. Pickup of about 3.
Not a whole lot in the gut there.
Going to make it 2nd down and 7.
Well, I know that Zach, his foot was hurt a little bit in the Sullivan game, had a pretty good-sized knot on it. Remember, he took a big hit in that game, but he's been all right since then.
Muir back in the shotgun. Once again, Jackson and Eberhardt on the wings. Clothier out wide right. Mason in the backfield. Muir going to roll out right, look to throw. Hits Clothier quick. It's over his head, and he can't come up with it. He knocked it up in the air with one hand. Tried to come down with it and was unable to.
And he was open in that flat. We've seen now that pass play 3 or 4 times. That time Tyler just threw a little bit too high, but almost a fabulous play by Clothier, kind of trying to tip it to himself.
3rd down and 7 now. Sure, it's 4-down territory here.
Sure.
Clothier stays out wide right. Eberhardt on the right wing. Jackson on the left wing.
Gerald's in at left tackle.
In motion is Jackson, going to take it on a sweep to the right side. Mason leads the way with a block and cut up field and...
Flag. I think that's going to be a horse collar. Steffi's the one who was able to kind of grab him, but it's sure.
I thought I saw a flag fly,
yeah,
too.
I think it's a... He gets down to the 30.
North Daviess, I don't think they've had very many penalties, have they? They've been mostly on the Miners tonight.
I have them for 2 penalties for 15 yards, and so this one would look to be the 3rd. We'll see, though. It could be on the Miners, the way the Miners body acted.
And they are indeed asking for the North Daviess captain, so the ball got to the 29-yard line.
Well, they're not doing a good job on the penalties already.
So let's see. We got face mask on the Miners. It's kind of unusual. So that's going to back them way up. So it's all the way back to the 45-yard line.
As a ball carrier, do you, when you reach out, I guess if you physically grab the face mask.
Grab it, I guess, yeah, you could be called for that. That's what I thought the referee signal was, a face mask, which we've had trouble seeing him all night. So the Miners have it, 3rd and 17, all the way back to the 45-yard line, and again, they shoot themselves in the foot.
Yep.
Eberhardt takes the handoff on the left side, breaks a tackle. He's got some running room now, and a nice tackle out in the open field by Milligan.
And again, great block by Caden Walker, number 55. We give so much praise to Dylan Morris, but Walker was able to fly over there and make a hit as well.
16-yard pickup to the 29, but it's still going to be a yard short of the 1st down, so 4th and 1. Miners keep the offense out there.
One of the things that I see that could use a little bit of work is Mitch. Mitch isn't breaking some of these kind of ankle tackles a little bit. Usually he would. They're offside.
Yep, we got him there on that hard count call there. The Miners pretty good at that.
Yeah.
It's going to get him a 1st down by penalty.
We've done that many a time. So an offside penalty, and to go back to that with Mitch, he runs the ball hard. He's more of the, he kind of dances around and looks for the hole and then cuts in there. He had a nice run that time, a great pull by Walker, and really he'd have been in the end zone if not for Milligan.
Back in the day when I was on the sideline, Dan, a couple of years ago, I used to know when they were going to try to draw them off sides. I'd gotten to the point where I knew what the color and the number was that was going to do that. And 1st and 10 for the Miners at the Cougar 24-yard line. Muir out of the shotgun. In motion is Jackson. Handoff goes to Mason to the right side.
Oh, my
gosh.
Cuts
it back up. Nice flip on the tackle there. He gets somersaulted. He's going to pick up another first down. Gets it down inside the 15, down inside the, it looks like about the 11 or 12-yard line.
12-yard run by Mason. And Milligan, you can tell he's played a few ball games. He went down super low. Mason not trying to dodge left or right. That's two of those that could have been massive collisions like we saw last week. Gotta love a guy that runs as hard as Mason does.
Clothier wide right. Mason again going to take it up the middle. Tries to get out to the left side and going to be stopped after he gets across the 10 down to maybe the 8-yard line.
And that would be Steffi, number 57, again getting in there by the ankles and dropping him down.
Just under 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Looks like they're going to put it at the 9-yard line. We'll give him 3, makes it 2nd down and 7.
Luke Miller has been in at tight end, and Avery Gentry comes in now. So definitely Zach Figley probably going to take it easy.
Trying to see if that's Figley on the bench. We got somebody on the bench. Looks like they got ice maybe on a knee. Muir out of the shotgun.
That's Zach
and
Figley.
In motion, and Muir nearly dropped the snap again. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to score. Walks into the end zone untouched. He bobbled the snap, and he ends up walking in untouched. So with 7:29 left here in the third quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners go on top 37-0.
And that was, another drive that had a big penalty on it that they overcame a 3rd and 17 and then drew them offside on a 4th and 1. And that definitely is Zach Figley with ice on his right knee. Not really being attended to. Hopefully that's just a precaution.
Wilson, good snap, kicks up, and another one right through there. So Wilson adds another extra point. So with 7:29 left in the third quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 38, North Daviess nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production. That direction.
Yeah. Again, we see Cunningham, Corbin, Trent, Howard, Williams, Burris, Irish, Passon. I believe Bill Smith is on the other side, as well as Luke Miller of the kickoff team. And
back deep to receive, Milligan and Webster for North Daviess. But we've been kicking it to the short man. It's Steffi and Tyler Gray are the short guys. And this one's going to go deep. Nice kick this time, right up the middle of the field. Fielded at about the 15-yard line. And still on his feet, and he breaks the tackle. That's Milligan. He gets all the way out to the 46, 47-yard line before he's brought down, and he's holding his head once again. He's down.
He was the one who was hurt earlier.
So he stays down again.
Seems to be in a little bit more pain this time around. Just as I mentioned all these guys' names, then that we get a pretty good size return up the middle. Maybe that's why we don't kick the ball deep.
Well, we've been covering them pretty well.
Yeah.
That one there got down to about the 15 or 20-yard line. Milligan got a nice head of steam up and took it out over the 45 to the 46-yard line, but holding his head. So
that could be a concussion there. That's what I suspected the last time.
Well, he kind of sat over on the bench earlier for a few plays and went back in the ball game. 7
kickoffs tonight for Luke, 39.71 average. 4 of them have gone inside the 20, so that's still pretty good. The net is 22.57, so.
And he's up now, heading to the sideline.
Seems to be all right. He looked like he was in some pain.
Yeah, I don't know. He's wobbling just a little bit now, so that may be the last we see of him tonight.
Well, they got new rules about that kind of stuff, and that one there, the way he wobbled.
Yeah, he headed about 3 yards to his right,
Right.
whenever he was coming off the field there. So I get a feeling we've seen the last of
and I didn't really
Ryan Milligan.
see him get hit in the head. That looked like Trent kind of got him from the side.
So the ball at the 47, I don't know why they're winding the clock. That was after a kickoff, but the referee says wind the clock. So,
well, they must want to get to my show a little bit earlier than
there you go.
than me.
1st and 10, Cougars have it at the 47, so good field position again. They've had good field position all night, just unable to move the football. Back to throw, Chapin. Now he's going to be pressured by Morris. Coming to the right side. He's going to run out of bounds before Dillon can get to him. And I'd be finding my way that sideline quick, too, if he was after me.
He showed a little burst of speed there, Darren, that I hadn't seen all night. And it wasn't that fast until he realized Big 78 was coming from the backside.
Yeah, you're going to end up picking up maybe a couple of yards out to close to the 49-yard line. We'll call it 2nd and 8. And they got the clock winding, even though he ran out of bounds. So we must be playing with a semi-running clock of some kind.
It's only
tonight.
38
38. I mean, that's not a... it's, feel pretty safe the Miners are going to win, but, 38's not like 55 or something like that.
I agree 100%.
Chapin hands it off this time right in the backfield. Boy, Dylan Morris practically beat the ball back there. Makes the stop on Tyree Gibbs.
Well, Tyree's come in from Bloomington North and greeted heavily there by the big man.
3-yard loss back to the 46, going to make it 3rd and 11. It's almost like Dillon knew what the snap count was that time. Man, he was back there in a flash.
We'll try and take a look at what he's done tackle-wise. And that's 4 tackles, and 2 tackles for loss for him. The leading tackler is really not hard to guess. It's Pierce Jackson with 9 tackles, 1 for loss.
Two backs in the backfield. Chapin under center. Wide receiver to the right, another one in the slot to the left. Chapin going to look to pass this time. Pressure from Kendall Williams. Pass in the air. Had a receiver out there. It was William Webster he was trying to hit, but just not enough time to set his feet and get rid of it.
And I believe what you saw there was the pressure from Kendall Williams from the outside backer that forced that pass to be rushed and over the head. Again, Webster looked like he was open, much as the kid was open on this side of the field, and it's 4th and 11. Last punt rolled to Steffi, and he had to try to make a play out of it and wasn't successful. Gave the Miners a short field.
And the clock is indeed running after the incomplete pass. And
I don't understand that.
So all the way down to 5:20 left here.
We got all sorts of
Steffi back to punt, and now the Miners are going to have to.
Well, we got another jump on the defensive side.
Yeah, I think they threw that flag before the guy jumped, I think.
Yeah, we had so many guys.
A lot of guys,
running
running in and out. See, that referee's just going to stand where he's at instead of walking out to the middle and making the signal. And once again, illegal substitution. So the ball goes over the 50 to the 49 of the Miners. Now will North Daviess still punt it?
I would not. Well, maybe they are. It looks like they're going to do that.
So Steffi's still back to punt. It's 4th down and about 7. Low snap again. Hops to him. He's going to get the punt away this time. A high punt, but it's not very long. And it's going to go out of bounds probably at about the 30. And see, the ref tonight does it quite opposite of what we saw the other night.
Yeah.
This guy marks it. Now he's going to walk up a few yards. Marks it at about the 32 or 33-yard line. And the Miners going to take over with 4:57 left in the 3rd quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, leading 38-0. So they're going to call it to 32.
Well, you remember in the pregame interview, if we were listening there, Coach Helms actually called this the best Miner team he's seen on film. That's some pretty giant words.
Yes. Jackson in motion, and they're going to give it to him as he goes to the right side, cuts back to the inside, still on his feet, and now stopped by 4 or 5 of the Cougars as he gets it close to the 40-yard
still
line.
On his feet. In fact, the pile you see getting up, if you're watching on LintonMiners.com, are 4 white shirts.
Looks like he got it out to the 40-yard line, so a pickup of about 8, going to make it 2nd down and 2 for the Miners.
Yeah, I really don't understand the running clock deal, and the game is 38-0. I mean, you'd like to see the JV get a chance to play, and the 4th quarter, which you will.
Mason going to take the handoff up the middle, has some running room, just bowls right into the defender at the 50, gets it over to the 49.
That was Gray, 47, that took that hit. Carpenter was also there to make the hit.
And they're going to actually mark him down right at the 50, so a 10-yard pickup for Mason. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Miners.
Yeah,
right at midfield.
Bigger holes, 5 carries, 41 yards for Mason. He had a long one that was called back.
Clothier wide to the left this time. Miners continue to pound away with their normal setup. In motion this time is Eberhardt. He'll take the handoff. Coming out to the left side. Has some running room. Gets around the end of the 35 to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and into the end zone. Mitch Eberhardt.
There you go.
And, you know, we saw Tyler Muir do what Mitch did right there as he was heading into the end zone. He kind of threw his hand up in the air, and we didn't see a flag this time. Tyler got flagged for that earlier this year.
A flag that you'll never understand. Just point your finger in the air.
So Eberhardt goes 50 yards for the touchdown.
Well, and I have him now 104 yards on just 6 carries, and that's just what happens. You get a heavy dose of Jackson to the right side. You come back over, and a block by Mason from the running back position kicked out that defensive end, and Mitch just used his speed. Kind of a poor effort by the Cougars trying to tackle that.
Wilson's kick is up and good again. So Wilson adds the extra point with 3:42 left in the third quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners now on top, 45-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. Before the game that eventually teams are going to adjust to Tyler and is going to open it right back up for Mitch, and tonight's been his night. You know, even though it's not been on very many carries, still over 100 yards.
Yeah, and he has the ability to break it on every play. All of these guys do, really. I mean, especially Muir and Eberhardt in the open field. Jackson's got good speed too.
Wilson gets ready to kick off yet again. This one's going to go deep again, going to be fielded at the Oh, it gets by him. It's down to between the 10 and 15, about the 12. Picked up back there by Gibbs, and he's going to be brought down inside the 20. That's what you're looking for on the kickoffs right there. The Miners pin him back inside the 20 this time.
Chance Howard, 52, was there right away to make the stick.
Looked like some confusion by the North Daviess receivers on who was going to take it, and it ends up costing them, and they will take over 1st and 10 at the 18.
Are you telling me that you left the Colts game early, huh?
Left the Colts game early on Monday night. I've been going for years with half a season ticket, and that's the first time I've left early. And hopefully they can get things straightened out on Sunday. Two backs in the backfield, Chapin under center. Wide receiver wide to the left. Wing on the right. And he waits the snap, takes it, and he's going to hand it off up the middle. That's Gibbs. He's going to get some yardage this time out across the 20, out towards the 23-yard line. Picked up probably 5 on that when they mark it. So it'll be 2nd down and 5.
Looks like Avery Gentry might have been in there to make that tackle.
So North Daviess, 2:09 left in the third quarter. Trying to get something going. They still just have 1 first down, is that correct?
Yeah.
So only 1 first down for the Cougars tonight. That was back early in I think about halfway through the first quarter maybe. Chapin takes the snap, going to give it off to Shands up the middle, takes it towards the left-hand side, going to bowl ahead to about the 27-yard line. Pickup of about 4 more, going to be about a yard short, I believe, of the first down.
Caden Walker now in the defensive end position for Figley and makes that tackle.
So can the Miner defense step up here and stop the Cougars on 3rd and 1? You about got to think 45-0 that it's almost 2 chances here. You know, you got a pretty good-sized quarterback in Chapin, 6'2", 205. You wonder about straight ahead with him.
He just does not run the ball at all, just very little.
And he's going to wait to take the snap here, turns around, gives it off to Gibbs. He's going to get the first down out near the 30-yard line. So North Daviess able to pick up their 2nd first down of the night.
Yeah, and he was hit there by Tyler Muir coming up from the safety position.
So they do get it to the 30-yard line and a first down. As our sign's coming down again, Dan.
Uh-oh. I think it's going to stay.
So the Cougars have it 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Going to hand it off again to Gibbs, going to the left side, and he's going to get it out over the 30, maybe to the 33, 32 or 33. So pretty much in the second half, they just kind of went straight ahead, mostly to the left side, away from Dillon.
And Morris and Walker made the combine to make that tackle.
They do put it to the 33-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 7. You're doing stuff on paper there. Something wrong with the computer?
Yeah, you see the computer is just giving me some grief. Working on the Miner side, not working on the Cougar side.
2nd and 7, Chapin. Going to drop back, look to pass. Going to fire it downfield on the right side. Going to overthrow the receiver as the quarter comes to an end. That was intended for Max Wessner, a 6', 200-pound freshman out there. Another good-sized kid for the Cougars.
Yeah, defended well by Passon and Muir.
So at the end of 3 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 45, North Daviess 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds with the 4th quarter. This is Linton Miner football, produced by Media 5 Sports. So back at Linton, and the clock winds here before the ball is snapped. It is a semi-running clock as North Daviess has it. Chapin rather under center, going to take the snap, drops back to pass, and immediately Chad Trent in his face. Now he's going to fire the ball downfield. It's going to be caught and a first down, and Milligan back in the game yet again.
Yeah.
Makes that catch just when you think you're not going to see him anymore, and he makes the catch for the first down.
Out to the 41-yard line, so nice move, a nice scramble.
Chad Trent was in there quick. Chapin able to avoid the tackle, avoid the sack, rolled out, got the pass downfield, and Milligan makes the catch. First down and 10. The Cougars are second first down of the drive.
Yes.
So 1st and 10 at the 41. Chapin under center, 2 backs in the backfield. Shands and Gibbs, wide receiver to the left, wing on the right. Takes the snap, gives it off to Gibbs, coming again to the left side. Shands falls down out in front of him. He kind of tripped over the top of him. Also in on the tackle for the Miners is Avery Gentry.
Luke Miller out there as well. Is getting some guys out there looking on the other side of the defensive end, trying to catch who that might be.
So a pickup of 1 makes it 2nd down and 9 at the 42 for the Cougars.
Well, I finally got the computer caught up.
Technology's great when it works.
Yeah, exactly right.
Chapin up under center, 2 backs in the backfield.
61, Trevor Hill is at the left defensive end position, a youngster.
And now they're going to give the counter back this way to the near side, and right there waiting on it to put the hit on him, Caden Walker, I believe, as that was Milligan taking the snap, or taking the handoff rather. And that's going to be a yard loss back to the 41-yard line. Walker all over that play.
Yeah, and it looked like the outside was kind of held and contained, and his blocker got pushed back in him. Now we're seeing Ben Burris come in.
It's good to see these guys mixing in with the starters. I like it. So Burris going to play right defensive end here.
Miller is out the outside backer where Trent would be. And
still see Eberhard on the corner position.
Tyler Muir
is
still
in there.
Passing
so it's good to see him mix in the subs. Chapin takes the handoff, gives it off to Gibbs up the middle, still driving ahead, but not able to get very many yards.
Pierce has the ball.
Wait a minute.
They say he was down.
Wow, a convoy of Miners headed towards the end zone, but they call the runner down by contact. So it's going to be marked at the 43-yard line. So they get a couple back.
Pierce was thinking 6. They must have gone with the quick whistle there. And it will be 4th down, and I'm sure that the Cougars will punt the ball.
So once again, the Cougar punt team comes on. They've had a couple of bad snaps the last couple of times. To see if we put somebody back besides Tyler this time. Nope, it's going to be Tyler dropping back to return it. Steffi stands back near the 30-yard line. Down to 9:16 left in the ball game. Miners on top 45-0. There's a good snap this time. Kick is in the air. Nice punt this time. That's going to go. Tyler going to field that at about the
fair catch
23-yard line with a fair catch.
They must have told him to work on the fair catches because that one looked like he had a little bit of space. Made the good sure-handed catch about the 24-yard line.
So the Miners will take over 1st and 10 at the 24, and I think I saw Tyler headed to the sideline, which means we're probably going to see the JV offense here. I do indeed see Drayden Ward out there, as well as Chase Howard and the whole Miner JV team. Cody Corbin on one wing here.
Probably Miller at the other, and both of those guys ran the ball super well last week.
Smith comes out wide to the right. Got another Miner coming in here late.
That's Trevor Hill going to be playing the left tackle. I think Fig 63 is the guard.
So Ward out of the shotgun. Somebody looks at their hand one more time for the play. Handoff goes to Corbin, heading to the left side. He's going to be stuffed. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage.
Austin Markle going to make that tackle. And I like to see this. Coach Helms now getting in some of his other guys, which is really the way it should be.
So the ball to the 25-yard line. Corbin actually able to pick up a yard. So it'll be 2nd down and 9. Miners look over to the sideline for the play call.
Try to gander out there. Indeed, it is Fig, and that's at the right guard position. I may have to just shout out numbers at you. The center looks to be 74 Warnock.
That'll be Warnock, yes.
72 Burris is the other guard, and 68 is the tackle.
Handoff goes up the middle. Flag on the play. He's going to bring this back. It's going to be a nice run by Drake Cunningham, but it's going to come back. He gets it all the way out near the 45 to 44-yard line, but the Miners are going to be called for illegal motion.
Oh, boy. That defeats a good run. Robert Hecox is the guy I was trying to name on the other tackle position. Nice run there by Cunningham, and that's the first carry he's had all year. I've heard Silas Jennings talk quite a bit about him.
He got it all the way out to the 45. Would have been about a 20-yard gain. Instead, it's a 5-yard back the wrong direction.
And I enjoy seeing a youngster like that with the kind of speed he just showed. Hit that hole to his left down the sideline.
7:51 remaining, clock running. Out wide right is Chase Howard.
Now, if we could get Chase Howard at 5'1", they have a number 6.
Mossberger also in here out wide to the right now.
Number 6 right down here in the sideline. They put those two guys together.
Handoff goes up the gut, going to be stopped quickly.
That's
number 6 doesn't show up on our roster here for North Daviess. But
yeah, that could be a...
So Cunningham going to get the ball. Oh, looks like about the 20-yard line. So no pickup there, no gain. So it'll be 3rd down and 14.
Can't imagine that we'll be seeing a pass.
Miners all looking at their play on their wristbands. Ward out of the shotgun. Cunningham joins him in the backfield. Runner in motion. They're going to give it to Corbin going to the left side. Breaks a tackle. Now he's headed up the sideline. Good block out ahead. Has the ball at the 40, the 45. Goodness. Cuts back to the right side. He's at the 50, the 45. Defender catches up and brings him down. That's William Webster for North Daviess making the tackle. And a nice run by Cody Corbin.
Well, that goes beyond a nice run, Darren. He went to the left side there, made a couple of nice uses of blocks, cut to the center of the field, switched hands like they tell you to do, and just looked like he kind of ran out of gas because he ran about 20 yards that way and then all the way across the field. Yep. Nice downfield blocking as well by the Miners.
Probably about an 80-yard run to pick up whatever he ended up getting there, a pickup of about 31 yards.
41 yards,
yeah. Ward again out of the shotgun. Going to take the snap, gives the hand off to Cunningham. He's going to be stopped. May got back to the line of scrimmage. Going to be 2nd down and 10. Try to get some more numbers out there. Number 60 on the far side. That's Trayton Tannehill in the game at left tackle.
Definitely getting a lot of kids out there. 58 was just out there. That's Craig Gretline. A lot of size in the younger kids coming up.
73, I believe, Jarrett Hazelwood, rather,
yeah.
not Garrett, Jarrett Hazelwood.
Well, we hope we can get Ian Fonseca back in the lineup. This is 2 games now that he's not been out there and kind of miss his firepower.
Ward out of the shotgun, hands it off this time.
Chance
It's Howard. He's going to the right side, breaks the tackles.
Oh,
May have picked up a yard or 2 there. Chase is not very big.
Oh, you got to admire it. You just got to admire it. A guy like clearly has a lot of heart running that ball. I take it that is Chance's younger brother.
I think that is correct. He's not on the roster anywhere at all.
Yeah,
he is on there somewhere.
He's 15.
Okay, 5'1", 110 pounds. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, so 5'1", 110. And he carried the ball hard there. He kept trying to get some yards. And
not afraid, not backing down, and he plays a lot in the JV game. So
down to 4:57 remaining here. Ward takes the snap, takes it to the left side on the quarterback keep. Nice tackle by North Daviess there. That's number 7. That is Tyree Gibbs.
Yeah,
so he's out there on defense as well. And he's going to tackle Ward for a loss back to the 40-yard line. So a yard loss, going to bring up 4th down for the Miners.
Yeah, and if he doesn't make that tackle, Ward looks like he's going down the left side of the field. See Noah Clark, we called his name quite a bit last week on the defensive side of things.
First game back, had a nice game last week. He comes in at tight end, I believe.
Now he's got the height, as a defensive end as well.
Ward again out of the shotgun, joined by Cunningham in the backfield, takes the snap, rolls out to his left, fires the pass downfield, going to be caught by Smith. Down inside the 30 to the 28, and that's going to be
looks like a first down.
Close to a first down, and I think he'll have it.
Looks like that was an option if he wanted to keep it all or throw it. Billy Smith playing the outside or running back out there, trying to see what they're going to.
So it's going to be short of the first down, they say. And wait a minute, are they going to measure it?
They're going to measure it.
I think they're going to measure it. So going to bring out the chains here.
Well, you'd like to see the JV get that first down and keep running that clock off.
Chain gang going to get their second workout of the night, I believe, headed out there. Rick Turchie, Herb Abbott on the chains, Art Love on the yard marker.
Some of the long-time guys down there.
Chris Corbin helps out by putting the clip on the chain there that helps the referee know where to set the chain down when they go to measure. 4:05 left here, and the ball's on the very far side of the field there. And they stretch the chains and
by half a ball.
Missed it by just a skosh. And it'll be 1st and 10, North Daviess. They will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, the JV worked off just about 5 minutes, so that's a pretty good job. Highlighted by that nice big run by Corbin.
So now the JV defense will get an opportunity here. North Daviess still with their starters out.
Well, that's what I don't understand. Although number 9 is in at quarterback, number 9 is Brandon Craven, a freshman.
So a freshman, comes in at quarterback. He's actually listed as a wide receiver.
Yeah, but they do have everybody
the snap, and they lose the snap with the new quarterback in there, but they're able to get back down on top of it. So almost a disaster there for the Cougars.
Yeah. Not how you want to start. Now here comes a whole host of youngsters in white jerseys.
I believe that was trying to get some names of people that got in out there that time. I thought I saw 51, but I don't see a 51 on our roster. May have been 57, Gavin Lay maybe, that was out there.
See Hazelwood, I see Warnock at the tackle positions.
Mossberger out here at corner.
Yeah.
2nd down and 13, a loss of 3 on that fumbled snap.
Miller and Irish are the inside backers. Ward and Corbin are the outside backers. Billy Smith in at the safety position.
Shan still at back, and they're going to hand it off, coming to the left side, and the ball loose again. And this time, Well, they're going to say he was down again. I think he actually got back on it anyway. So 25 was the ball carrier that time. Ethan Malone, another freshman. So a couple of tough plays here. They got Shands is going to come out now. Coming in is number 6, so he's not on our roster, but he kind of matches the size of Chase Howard. So Chase is out at corner on the other side. Maybe they can
need a camera on that one.
Down under 2.5 now. As Craven steps back under center, two backs in the backfield, and coming to the near side, quickly tackled by Miller is going to be 26. That 16 rather. That's Wyatt Allen.
And he was met real quick by Luke Miller.
So here comes the punt unit once again for the Cougars. Down under 2 minutes to go now, excuse me, here in the ball game. As Smith drops back this time to return the punt.
And Bill is, of course, dangerous. We've seen a couple of long returns, including a kickoff for touchdown.
Steffi gets a good snap this time, puts the punt in the air, comes towards the near side, going to land at about the 42.
Oh, he
wanted to catch it, but the Cougar player right there, Ethan Malone, would have put a hit on him if he'd have tried to field it. Instead, it bounces down to the 30-yard line, where the Miners will take over with 1.5 minutes to go here in the ball game. So probably just a matter of 2 or 3 plays here, and the clock will run out. So they're going to mark it at the 29-yard line. And they'll wind the clock here as soon as they put the ball in play. It looks like the Miners may take a knee. Looks like they're going to get into the victory formation here. And we got a timeout or something, I believe. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Bobe Switz City. Open every Wednesday through Sunday from 4 till 8 with everyday specials. Buy any 14-inch 3-topping pizza and get a 10-inch 1-topping for just $1.99. And also buy 3 large and get a 4th free at Bobe Switz City. Bobe Switz City still offers $10 Thursdays. A 14-inch pizza with any number of toppings is just $10 every Thursday. Call 659-BOBE.
I'm going to have to find a way to get there. Just on the opposite side of from where I come up from Vincennes, so I just don't get a chance to get over there. Keith, of course, is down at the Castle game and informs me it's 14-14 Castle and Mater Dei. Probably a big contest at the half down there. We already know Vincennes Lincoln was up pretty well decidedly in that game with North Knox, and we know that Eastern Green won big over North Central.
So the Miners do indeed get into the victory formation. I see a couple of guys shaking their head out there. The JV kids want a chance to run the ball. And
all Ward gets to do is take a knee.
Lose a yard for a couple of plays here.
Yeah, you're not in a scoring position.
Yeah, I think they're going to let that go. I think North Daviess actually jumped off sides. They're going to let that go. So clock continues to run. 1:15 remaining. I don't know, actually it's stopped right now. Why did they stop it?
No kidding. Now, does that make any sense at all? There it goes.
Yeah.
Noah Clark comes
there
out.
It finally does start running. So let the play clock. They've not even started the play clock yet. It's still at 25. They got the clock running.
Well, I think we did better that second half. Still had some mistakes. The big hope now is that Zach Figley, who had ice on his knee, is not going to be banged up seriously.
Yeah, that'd be a key loss for the Miners if he's unable to go, but hopefully that's something minor and he's able to hop back in there. If
they
not,
seem they don't seem overly concerned, but you never know. Sometimes they wait till tomorrow to evaluate.
And once again, the Miners take the knee. There's 40 seconds. If the referee takes his time spotting it here, down to 34, 33. When's he going to put it into play here? Down to 29, 28. And he puts it in play at 26. So one more knee should do it.
Yeah. And really, when you're down at the own 25-yard line, I don't know why you just don't let him run a play. The JV wants to run a play. And I could see if you were down at the 10-yard line, you maybe take a knee. But I'd like to see him get to run it. 3 plays there, wasted of effort. But
that's going to do it. But I know what you're saying. The JV kids get a chance to get out there on a Friday night.
And they drove the ball last time, but Ward now gets 3 carries for -3 yards.
So the final score on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Linton Miners 45, the North Daviess Cougars 0. We'll take a 2-minute break, come back with the post-game show. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3 and WQTYradio.com, produced by Media 5 Sports. Daviess players just came over near the track around their fans, do the school song. I think that's a pretty neat little tradition that they have there. That they
and that's got to be tough when you just get beat 45-0. But they do it, and now we're getting. This is starting. This is a good thing. We're starting to see a lot of this stuff happening.
Yeah, the North Daviess players have gone out now to join the Miner players at the middle of the field and say a little prayer there together as a group. And it's competitive during the game. Once the game's over, it's over. And
well, particularly with the long and arduous history between the Miners and the Cougars over the years.
Very true. Well, we'll take a look at the recap of the scoring. The Miners got on the board first. 9:53 left in the first quarter. A Luke Wilson 30-yard field goal put them on top 3-0. They added 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. The first one, a 42-yard pass from Tyler Muir to Jacob Clothier. Wilson added the extra point to put the Miners ahead 10-0 at the 7:32 mark. Then with 3:55 left in the first quarter, Mitch Eberhardt goes 13 yards. Wilson again adds the extra point. And after one, the Miners were on top 17-0. Pierce Jackson scored the first touchdown of the second quarter. 7:26 remaining. He went in from 9 yards out. Wilson again added the extra point, made it 24-0. Muir added a touchdown with 1:59 remaining in the first half on a 4-yard run. Wilson again with the extra point. Miners on top at halftime, 31-0. Then in the third quarter, Muir added a 9-yard run, 7:29 to go, put the Miners ahead 38-0 after the Wilson extra point. And then Eberhardt closed it out with a 50-yard run, 3:42 left in the third quarter. Wilson again added the extra point, 45-0. If I'm not mistaken, North Daviess ran out the rest of the third quarter, and we saw the Miner JV the rest of the way. And they had some nice plays, and you weren't able to put any points on the board, but didn't give up anything, and the Miners pitched the shutout tonight.
Yeah, and that's something I'm sure that the starters like to see the JV team come out and withstand that. And again, nice to see Mitch Eberhardt back kind of in the running formation, and really hardly any carries for anybody. Tyler with just 11, and Pierce, Mitch, and Garrett each with 5, 6, and 5, and Drayden Ward actually had 4. So we really didn't run the ball a whole heck of a lot, but we still had 308 yards of rushing and a passing, which we didn't do much the second half really at all. Still a solid effort. It's just it'll be interesting to see how Coach thinks that they did. I still feel we didn't click on all the cylinders yet again this week, but you're still winning pretty handily. So
What did you have us for passing yards?
We had officially 5 of 7 for 138 yards passing. We had 308 rushing the ball, so we're going to be 446 of offense, and that's a pretty good job. The Cougars really couldn't get anything going. 32 carries, 33 yards, so it's just over a yard a carry. 2 of 7 passing was Chapin. He had 13 yards, one of those to Milligan, one of those to Shands. So they end up with a total of 46 yards. That's a pretty outstanding job.
Good night for your defense.
And I should also mention catching the ball. 3 catches, 87 for Jacob Clothier, 1 for 41 for Pierce Jackson, 1 for 10 for Bill Smith. And running the ball for the Miners, Muir with 11 for 66, Pierce with 5 for 59, a touchdown. Mitch Eberhardt, 6 carries, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mason 5 for 41. Corbin with 2 carries for 42 yards, a nice run. Ward 4 for -5 yards. So the offense, really other than a couple of late first downs, 16 first downs to 3 first downs for the Miners. And really, those numbers look all great, but we did see some mistakes, and you just hope they get comfortable with that, because it's easy to say, yeah, we made those mistakes. We also won the last 2 weeks by big scores.
Yeah, Coach Oliver out in the middle of the field right now addressing the team, and a lot of it does have to probably be with, cutting down on those mistakes, and how many times. I think the ball hit the ground at least 4 times there in the first half to go along with all the penalties. And boy, oh boy, you do that in a playoff game and you end up going home early.
Unofficially, had 9 penalties, 59 yards for the Miners. And a lot of those penalties were down into their area, nullified some nice plays. And, North Knox is, even though they got beat last week, they're going to be fired up to face us. And then Eastern Green, if they're kind of showing something. Back-to-back shutouts. It'll be interesting to see how they handle a 3A team on the road. But, boy, I can tell you what, Greene County is going to be off the hook. And we can't afford to take anybody lightly. You want to ramp up going into the sectional week.
Yeah, definitely want to be playing well. Coach Oliver chatting with the other media out on the field right now, so we'll wait on him to get up here and join us. I guess we can go ahead and start talking about the player of the game, maybe give that away before Coach gets up here, and go ahead and get that taken care of. And I'm sure he'll get up here and join us here momentarily. So what are you looking at tonight?
Well, Pierce Jackson with 9 tackles. It would certainly have to be in the running, a tackle for loss. But then again, it'd be nice to see Mitch Eberhardt getting back into the column with 104 yards, had a nice 50-yard run. I really, if several players could once again, keep looking for the guy that doesn't get noticed a whole lot. I don't know. I was going to say something about the offensive line, and they all did a good job, but we did have some issues with some snaps. I don't think it's Breyer. I didn't really see, other than maybe one, kind of go over the head.
I agree. I think a couple of them, I don't know whether they caught Tyler off guard or if he was trying to do something with the football before he actually had it in his hand.
Maybe trying to think a little bit too much. I tell you who I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Jacob Clothier. 3 catches, 87 yards. He had 2 touchdowns last week. He's got a touchdown tonight. Much more in the action, much more getting involved. He was a leading leading receiver last year, and had a lot more catches. So he's getting back into it. 3 catches, 87 yards, a touchdown, partially because of what he did last weekend as well. So I think we'll go with Jacob.
Sounds good. So it's time to announce tonight's REMC Star of the Game. And we're going to say congratulations to Jacob Clothier, tonight's Star of the Game. And for being named the Star of the Game, REMC is pleased to donate $50 to the Linton Athletic Department. That's from Utilities District of Western Indiana, REMC, a strong supporter of local and area high school sports. And we still await Coach Oliver coming this way. Of course, the team, I guess they did, normally they go down towards the end zone and do their prayer.
Yeah,
but
he's
tonight,
usually,
North Daviess joined them, so they probably have taken care of that. So Coach a little bit out of his routine, and I know he's a routine guy, so hopefully he doesn't forget about us.
We're going to have to write a note on his hand or something like that. And the Cougars didn't get blown. I mean, when it wasn't a 75-0 contest. They kept fighting hard. Hopefully the Milligan kid, and he's walking down the field, he looks to be fine as well. So as I see Figley kind of stand out there with pictures, getting posed with friends and maybe family. So, and I don't know that I even see ice.
Yeah, I think the ice is still there.
He didn't kneel down on the prayer, so they must be telling him not to. So we can just hope maybe he just got a bruise and they're icing it. And other than that, you got to be impressed with. We're getting some younger guys some action. Chance Howard, Levi Gerald's getting in there as well. T. Pig has got some offensive action. So depth is something that you want to have. Although Linton is famous for being able to go 4 quarters, a lot of people out there in the internet world always say, well, as we get to the end of the season, Linton's not going to be used to even going 4 quarters. They're not going to be battle ready. And I make the argument that didn't affect us in the games against Cecina, didn't affect us in Ritter. We still came down to the last couple of plays to be in the game or not. And of course, I opened myself up to the old, well, what if they were 4 quarters ready, would they not have scored on that 4.5 yard? Yeah, I think you run that play 10 times, Darren, from a half-yard line. 10 times the Miners are going to score on 9 of them. Just wasn't our time. And
yep, just wasn't meant to be. And, that hopefully we can get over that hump and make our way, to that next step. And
well, that first step will be the sectionals. And when do they do the draw? The draw is it next week?
I don't remember for sure. That may still be a little early. What do we got? Three
more
regular
weeks.
season games.
Seems
I
like
think it's like the week before you play
week
your
8,
last.
perhaps. Yeah,
about week 8 there they'll draw that. And
well, it's different now. We don't have Springs Valley in the mix, and
potential trip down to Tell City.
Yeah, and the marksmen kind of coming down from the 2A, and they really haven't done a whole heck of a lot.
People keep intercepting Coach Oliver. I think he's tried to make his way up here a couple of times. He got intercepted now by offensive coordinator Jake Jennings. So,
well, Tell City had a tough one tonight. They had to play at Huntingburg to the South Ridge Raiders, who are traditionally a powerhouse. They got beat 52-16 by Boonville last week. So at 0-5 or probably 0-6. Only you can say about them
there's
is
another team that plays a tough schedule.
Yeah, you're looking at who they got, and gosh, they played South Spencer tough, lost only by 2, and South Spencer is just 1-4, but still they're usually in the mix. And there are any other teams we got. Perry Central probably the other team. They're going to probably haven't heard any scores with that miss your phone being here, so we get some phones. Wood Memorial is the other team, of course, and they had Perry Central tonight. I got to have something wrong there because I got there it is. Perry Central beat Tecumseh. So they played Wood Memorial tonight. Wood Memorial, of course, 0-5 and just hanging in there. North Central, they got Eastern Green tonight, got beat, but they should recover well with Riverton Park and Wood Memorial.
If you guys could see out there what Big D has available to look at and all the wealth of knowledge he has on his computer spreadsheet and with the trouble he goes through to provide you what he provides you with, you'd be very impressed.
I got more information than I probably give out. Maybe 35 to 40% of what I've actually tried to figure out all the week leading up to it. But I love high school football. I love Linton Miner football, so I enjoy doing it just for my own sake. And we're joined by Coach Ollie, who finally got tore away and finally was able to sprint up here like a champion. Coach,
you come away with it. I'd be up here.
Yeah, I know. We got to figure that out. I know you came in tonight talking about penalties, talking about eliminating mistakes, and I know we came out and even more so probably than last week, mistakes with I don't know what was going on with snaps, if a couple of them hit Tyler right in the face, and penalties just killing us on some of these drives.
Yeah, that's not the way we're supposed to play. Tyler, on some of those snaps, are kind of rushing it. He was trying to move before he actually caught the ball.
Yeah.
The snaps weren't all that bad. Tyler's an athlete that needs to catch that stuff, but still, it's his first game. First year as a starting quarterback, so he was just trying to speed the game up. He's got to let the game
thinking a little bit ahead while he's actually
yes, and that's probably. And then once it happened a few times, I think he started thinking about it a little bit more. So that's the thing he's looking at there. But he did better in the second half. I think he only had 1, but sometimes that came into a broken play, and I think he scored on it.
Yeah. Well, my next thought was he's the kind of guy that can take a ball that bounces on the ground and pick it up, and instead of just falling on it as other quarterbacks who can't run, you still got to feel good about how he can turn a negative play to a positive play.
Oh, yeah. You look, he's a playmaker, but you look, you got Tyler, you got Mitch, you got Pierce, you got Garrett Mason. All those guys are playmakers.
There's no shortage of list of guys.
Then you can bring Kendall Williams in there. We got a lot of playmakers, so we expect a lot of them. We're not happy the way we played. We scored 45 points.
Yeah.
Offensive-wise, we didn't play well. Defense, we played great. But we're just things we have to just keep working on. And I don't know, maybe we're preaching it too much through the week. I don't know. But we just got to correct these things. So this isn't how we play. We talked about this halftime. I think it was the first time at halftime I have to really raise my voice.
Yeah.
So, because we weren't playing. I expect a lot of these kids when they come out and play on a Friday night, especially a homecoming game. We want to be as perfect as possible, and we wasn't that in the first half. And the kids knew it. They were disappointed in themselves, although we still had, 35 points?
31 and a half, 31-0. But Luke hits the field goal. You got to enjoy that he kicks a 30-yard field goal, but you got to be disappointed that you get to the 4 and not able to punch it in.
Well, yeah, you look, there was a couple series of penalties. And some of those penalties were on seniors. Those things we can't make.
Yeah.
You got to eliminate those. I mean, against North Vermillion or any of those other guys, we'd been in big trouble.
Yeah, they could come back. If you get to where you're, like you say, you don't play your best, but you look at the scoreboard and say 45-0, we're all right. But in a game that matters, those instances are going to come back to haunt us.
Exactly. We always look, did we get better? Whether it's in practice or as a game, did we get better? I don't know. We're pushing it tonight.
The positives, though, tonight, I got to say the passing. His passes looked sharp and were put on the nose. Even a couple that were called back for other penalties. Or that last pass of the first half that he put in Pierce Jackson over the shoulder.
Yeah.
So you got to. I mean, you got to feel good about how he's passable. The short game was good, and Jacob Clother tonight getting him more involved again 2 weeks in a row. I like the short game when he runs about the 5, 6, 7 out. That's hard to defend.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we looked there. I mean, they were stacking the box. I mean, they had 8 guys in the box. When we say the boxers, from tight end to tackle, everybody within that area with their defensive tackles and linebackers. So they were playing a soft cushion on Clothier out there, so we knew we could throw the ball a little bit.
You could do that all night.
Yeah, so we were still like, okay, when we play teams down the road, they're going to be a 5-man box. They're going to have 8 guys up there, so we got to be able to deal with it. So we had to work some of it, and so we knew we could throw a little bit there, and we was able to do that. And then so Tyler's coming along tremendously, and we knew these next few weeks we had to really work on our passing game so we can use that down the road. And I don't know how many yards he had tonight, but he played well.
100. What did we say?
138.
138 total, and 10 of that came with Ward's throwing that ball. 308 rushing the ball, so you got about 446 total offense. North Daviess really just about 42 or so is, I think, with total offense. So stellar job by the defense. Good to get Mitch back in the mix on the offense. The thing about it is that we talked about it quite a bit is you take what you're given.
Yeah.
And they keep focusing. You ran about 4 or 5 plays with Pierce Jackson to the right side, and all of a sudden, bam, he almost broke 2 or 3 other ones, to be honest with you. So that's the kind of thing our offense can do. If you try to stick to one guy, eventually he can sort of pop a loose. And some great downfield blocking. We always talk D-Moore. I talk about Caden Walker at the guard position. He don't get the attention that D-Mo does, but tonight he had a couple blocks that sprung open big plays.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is his first year as a varsity level, and he's coming along, playing well. I mean, he's still junior, so he's still learning. I mean, he's working with Demo every day, so that's going to help him out tremendously. And he's getting better every week. He is getting better with his blocking downfield and his kick out on his sweeps. I mean, all of them, not just him, but need to work on staying a little sticky on their blocks a little longer, especially when you play with a linebacker like Steffi, as good as linebackers here he is. You can't hit him, let him go. But yeah, Caden's really coming along with us, and we expect big things at him towards the end of the year.
Depth-wise, again, another chance to get some guys in the contest tonight, different positions. You feeling a little bit better about that? Gerald gets to play his second game. I saw you rotate a lot of guys in on the offensive line and also a defensive tackle. They perform better for you tonight with their second time in varsity?
Yeah, I mean, they played better. I mean, you get in a game like this, you can play a lot of different guys. I mean, you're getting experience on a Friday night. There's nothing better than experience on a Friday night. And then be able to come out. I mean, it's going to pay off for later in the season and then to carry over to next year.
Yeah, well, Drake Cunningham has a nice run. Gets called back, unfortunately, but gosh, that's the first time I've seen him run the ball this year, and he looks like he's going to be pretty strong as just a freshman, I believe.
Yeah, he's a freshman. I mean, he worked extremely hard in the off seasons during the summertime, came out and got himself ready. He's still working his way up there. I mean, he's coming along, but I mean, he's got a bright future for him. As long as he stays in the weight room, gets a little faster and a little stronger, I mean, he'll be a playmaker for us.
Last thing to ask is, really, I saw Zach Figley go out with ice on his knee, and he's limping a little bit. Is that something to serious worry about, or is it?
No, I don't think so. Doc Wilson checked him out and said he thinks he's all right. So we mainly set him out. He could have went back in. He was ready to go in. We're like,
no need to do that. Did you talk to Tyler about fair catching on some of those punts tonight? He caught 2 of them. I see a glimmer in your eyes, so I know there was some talking.
We had a little small conversation about it a little bit. I mean, we wanted the ball to be caught or run. We don't want the ball bouncing and losing 10 to 15 yards.
But at the same time, you don't want him kind of leaping into trying to make a catch where that ball can take a funky bounce.
But you look, Tyler's an athlete.
Oh, I know. It's an opportunity for 6 every time he touches the ball.
I mean, he says that we always yell Peter when it was a bad kick or get away from the ball.
Right.
He said, Coach, that won't apply to me. I'm like, all right. I said, I trust you. So if you come close to it and there's people standing around, they're not paying attention, you better scoop it. You better get the ball and better get something.
Right.
I said, but not. I said, there's a good chance you're going to take a licking.
Yeah, the odds are good every time he touches it, but it's scary sometimes because he does take a risk.
Oh, yeah, but that's part of the game. You got to take some risk, and when he gets the ball in his hand, a lot of good things.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah,
Well, we've always had good guys to fun to watch, and that makes it a fun thing. Coach, appreciate you taking the time to come up here. 6-0 next week. We got who do we got? The North Knox Warriors.
North Knox.
They got defeated at Lincoln tonight. The last score heard 35-14. It was 14-14 at the half.
Wow.
So maybe they got beat down a little bit. The Eastern Green hammered North Central. So I don't know what's happened to North Central, or Eastern is just that good. So got some things to look at down the road for you, but I know you'll enjoy homecoming tonight, and I'll reserve a spot next to me if you want to get up and sing a little bit of tunes tonight.
I've already lost my voice, so I don't think.
Well,
I
that's
need to.
perfect. That's
it's all
perfect.
because of halftime. So
I appreciate you coming up, taking the time with us.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Coach, congratulations. Thanks for coming up. Coach Brian Aller of the Linton Miners, kind enough to join us, and we're going to call it a night here so Big D can get to his gig. We've already given the player of the game. Want to go back
the
once
guitar
again
and done like a quick tune just to chase everybody away.
Want to congratulate Sydney Smith, tonight's 2015 homecoming queen, and congratulate Madison Millick, the 2015 homecoming princess. So congratulations to those two young ladies on winning those awards tonight. And for Dan Phillips and also for Katie Sullivan back at the station, want to thank her for all her help tonight. I'm Darren Clayton saying good night and have a great day tomorrow. Thanks, Katie. Have a good